And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching ABL Live. You could be anywhere in the whole wide world, but I'm glad you're right here with me live on the show. I most certainly appreciate you for that. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you're listening on an audio streaming platform, thank you for listening. Share it however you can. Sharing is caring. We got quite a few stories on deck for tonight. Of course, there's one people are commenting about. They hit me up a lot about the Nathaniel Woods case. We're going to talk about that. We're going to get all into it. Shout out to all the Facebook lawyers, all the YouTube lawyers, all the guys that know all about law, don't even know the federal from state jail or prison. We'll talk about that. Also, we'll talk about the MSNBC math fail, which was crazy. I mean, I've seen some things in my day, but that right there had to be at the top. The San Francisco ICE agents arresting an illegal alien who had been arrested, by the way, 7 times before outside of a courthouse in San Fran. And then the local officials getting triggered about it, talking about, oh, this is sanctuary city, you can't do that. But I can do it. We're the federal government. Try to tell the federal government they can't do whatever they want. They have laws that supersede your little rinky-dink sanctuary city law. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all for joining. Most certainly appreciate you. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. We got a whole lot going on. Like I said, the MSNBC math fail, the Nathaniel Woods case in Alabama, the ICE agents in San Francisco, the Brooklyn robbery. Did you guys see that? By the way, they put that video on age restriction, so if you're not signed in, it's going to be hard to see it. But that video was crazy. There's a whole lot more going on, but those are some of the main topics that's happening right now. Now, matter of fact, I see you, Jay, my outfit. I see you. I saw you a little bit earlier, but I couldn't respond. Lucas has a stream going on right now, and people are saying that I'm a shill and I'm trying to protect the police, all this, that, and the third. It's like, wait a minute. You got a guy, like, I understand if it's a case where somebody's innocent, they didn't do anything, they got, mistaken identity, or if it's a case where somebody's in jail for like 30 years on a crack violation, go ahead and let them free, whatever. But if you are involved with that kind of case, then you're going to go up the river the same as everybody else. But see, people that don't understand that have never experienced it. See, a lot of people, they just don't have a lot of life experience. They kind of live in a sheltered space. They don't understand. I've seen this, actually. I know people in jail for this personally. I know guys that will never come home again that got locked up when they were very young in jail for this very same thing. Not one person, not 2 people, but more than 2. I know a few people in jail because of this. This is why I was always told as a child, do not be around the wrong people. Do not hang in the wrong crowd, because let's just say you riding in the car, right? You riding in the car and somebody has a gun or multiple guns in the car. Now, these guns ain't legal. They might got bodies on it. They in the car smoking weed, and you in the car just hanging out. First of all, you are straight hot monkey, because you being in the car makes you a target for various reasons, for 2 main reasons. Number one, if these guys got weed and guns and everything else in the car, you thinking you having fun, you riding around with your friends. Meanwhile, some guys they don't like, that they already had problems with before, are looking for them in that car. They're looking to take that weed. They're looking to take those guns. And you right there, you might get shot alongside of them. Oh, I didn't do anything. He's innocent. You right there with him. You knew what they were doing. You put yourself in that situation. So can nobody say that you were a victim? You victimized yourself by even being there. That's just the streets. That happens every single day. I've seen it. I witnessed it. I know guys that done got shot behind that. You know what I'm saying? I done almost been shot behind that myself on 2 occasions. by being in the wrong place, wrong time. Somebody in the car that you riding with, somebody else don't like. Now you get the gun in your face because of what this man done did. And I didn't even know what was going on. I'm just hanging out. These are not even no street guys. So if you in the car with street guys and you know what they're doing, they got guns and weed and everything else, and then you get hemmed up behind them, that's your fault because you put yourself in that situation knowing that it could be that way. You understand? So this guy, Nathaniel Woods, is a dope boy in the dope house. If you're in the dope house, it's going to get raided. It's going to get raided. If it's a spot with like 100 cutties a day, 150 customers, what they call them, cutties a day, 150 customers a day, it's going to get raided. So you are in a dangerous place, okay? You in the hood, in the dope house, it's going to get raided. That's the first thing. The second thing is he was involved with the homicide, the triple homicide of the police officers and the attempted murder on another one. He was involved. They have a warrant for his arrest. They show up, they show him the warrant and his own picture printed out. He's not really trying to fight. He just retreats into the home. Now, the officers, they ain't really trying to shoot him. They got pepper spray. They're not trying to shoot him. They only had their guns drawn. Matter of fact, one of the officers at least had his gun still holstered. They were not trying to shoot this guy. They were just trying to arrest him and bring him out. Trying to break up the dope spot, really, apparently. So they go in there to arrest him. He's on the ground. They're handcuffing him. Everything's all good. Okay? Everything is just fine. But here comes his man from the cut with the rifle. Boom, 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 boom. And then according to witness statements, he has said to his man, hey, matter of fact, according to the officer that was right there who didn't get killed, he got shot, but he didn't get killed. He was like, hey, there's another one right behind me. And then they shot him. So he's orchestrating the whole thing. He lured them into the house to get them to feel comfortable. And his man the whole time had the gun. He's shooting the officers. And he said, hey, there's somebody right here on me. He shot him too. And shot the guy that was on the outside. He shot 4 officers. You're right there. You're in the dope spot. You selling the drugs with him. You are in this with him. No, you didn't pull the trigger, but that doesn't matter. That's not how law works. That's not how these things operate. You were there. You go to the penitentiary as well. You get the needle, the rope, the chair, whatever it is as well. That's how that works. A famous example of a guy that got the needle. Matter of fact, did he get the needle? I think he had the needle at first, but then they changed it because California's law changed, which is what I'm talking about. Charles Manson. Charles Manson didn't kill anybody. He never killed anybody. His rhetoric is what killed people. The things he would say, the motivation behind the things he would say is what caused others to kill people. He never killed anybody. Matter of fact, he was never even at a crime scene as far as I know. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. But he got the same sentence as Nathaniel Woods got. Now, if Alabama overturns their death penalty law, then maybe he could have got saved from the needle. But that's not what happened. The law is a law. That's just what it is. So, yeah. So if you want to say that this man shouldn't have been put to death, talk about the law. Don't talk about the facts of the case like he didn't deserve it. Yes, he did deserve it. If he didn't deserve it, then neither did Charles Manson. It's been guys that have been put to death that have not actually killed anybody. Just because you didn't kill someone does not mean that you're not responsible for a death. Okay? It's simple. You know, you were associated with it. You were complicit. Just like if you are the getaway driver in the bank robbery, you're getting charged for the bank robbery. I know a guy right now in jail for bank robberies. Right now. I would say his name, but I don't want to put him out there. He got locked up probably about 6-7 years ago from Virginia Beach. If you look hard enough, you can find it. It was a string of robberies. I think they might have picked him up I think they might have got him in Richmond. But it was a string of robberies in Virginia Beach. And whoever else was involved got sent up too. That's just how it works. So, yeah, that's just what it is. You don't have to kill somebody to get sent up the road. That's just law. That's just law, period. Now, some may say, oh, the law's wrong. Why is the law wrong? Why is the law wrong? If you set somebody up to get killed, why would you not get the needle? because you are just as guilty as the person that pulled the trigger. Okay, that's just how it is. It really ain't nothing else to it, but people don't really want to understand that. Okay, Lucas wants me to call. Well, I can't. He has to call me. I can't call out from here. So if he can call me, the number to call is 434-658-1220. I can't call out on this number. So it is what it is. Matter of fact, hold on. I might be able to call him like on my actual phone, and then you guys can hear it, but it wouldn't really be a good thing because you couldn't hear him. So no. But it is what it is. If somebody said always for the police. If somebody could tell me that I'm wrong, then explain to me why I'm wrong. There's no need to actually, do the ad hom and just point to the facts. I don't care nothing about how nobody feels. That's not even important. Your feelings are unimportant. What's important is the facts. The facts are the facts, and that's it. Okay? Feelings couldn't have saved that man from his death. The facts is what sentenced him to death. That's why he's dead today. That's all it is to it. So if there's facts that I've missed, then present the facts, and then we can go ahead and get rocking and rolling. But yeah, if Lucas wants to talk, he has to call me. I can't call him on this line. It's an out only line, so I cannot do it. I'm not wrong. Well, thank y'all. I appreciate it. I mean, I'm not the kind of guy that would just not admit when I'm wrong, or if I don't know a thing. If somebody asks me a question, I'm going to say either I do know and give you the answer and back it up with facts. I'm going to say, here's my opinion and give you my opinion, or I'm going to say I don't know. I'm not, that prideful to just not admit when I don't know. And if somebody proves me wrong, then I say, hey, you're right. You got it. Appreciate that. And I will take that knowledge and I learn from it. I'm not just going to deny the truth if it's presented to me. But you got to present the truth to me in order for me to receive it and in order for me to be wrong. Simple. Lucas don't want to debate me. I've tried to debate him before. I don't lose debates because if I debate on a thing, I'm going to know what I'm talking about. If I don't know the subject matter, I'm not going to engage in the debate. I'll say, I'm not familiar with the subject. I don't really know a lot about that, and I'll just decline. But if I know the subject matter, trust and believe I know the subject matter. Yep. But it is what it is. But thank y'all for being here. Most certainly appreciate you. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all for joining in. And shout out to the super chatters already. You guys are great. Thank you to, hold on, let me get to you guys right quick. Thank you to Julie Nelson who says, hey, ABL, love y'all, peace. Well, thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Charles Turner Jr. who says, hey, ABL, do you think more outlets like MSNBC will make mistakes like they did? They keep going down the rabbit hole. I mean, they do that all the time. Not just MSNBC, as you said, but all the networks. They keep messing up. I feel like there's a quality control. They don't really care about putting out factual information. It's all about trying to like push salacious headlines and trying to get the numbers up, trying to get some clickbait material. I never thought I'd see the day when I saw clickbait on television. That's kind of what's going on right now. Okay, things that are just totally wrong, totally incorrect, totally inaccurate that are put on TV to get attention and ratings. But thank you for that, man. I definitely appreciate you. And I'm going to get back to that whole MS-13 NBC situation in just a moment. Shout out to Jessica Dahman, who says, happy Saturday. Well, thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Brendan, who says, hi, ABL, new fan here. I hate Dwayne Wade. He's playing God. Hey, I'm with you, man. Let that boy be a boy. God made him a boy. Let him be a boy. If he's soft, that's okay. He don't got to be, Mike Tyson in the ring at 12 years old. But let him be a boy, not a girl. He's not a girl. He's a boy. Thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Prescott S., who says, Jesus 2020, RVA. Thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. And shout out to Richmond, 1000% to 804. Shout out to Jake C for the donation, who says, happy Saturday, ABL. Love you on your show. I finally graduate the Border Patrol Academy next week. Can I get a shout out from my favorite YouTuber? Hey, shout out to you, man. Congratulations. Thank you for that, man. Round of applause to you. Hey, you're going to do good out there, man. So thank you for your support. I definitely appreciate you. Definitely serving the country. Hey, I can't ask for more from you guys to serve the country. That's honorable, man. Thank you. But, yeah, I know Akintunde Nation TV or 2.0 is a good dude, good content. Let me see. Muso Bronze, hopefully I didn't butcher your name, boss, says, well, let's deal with feelings too. Let us ask this. If you disagree with what ABL is saying, how would you want ABL to discuss this if the officer killed was one of your husband's father, brother, etc.? There you go. Exactly. You know, when the shoe's on the other foot, when it's one of your family members, when it's your grandmama or somebody like that, they get shot by some heathen on the street, then you want to change your tone. That's generally how it goes, man. But thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. You're right on point. And thank you to John Bender, who says, what can I say? I'm poor. Oh, it's all good, man. Don't even worry about it. Thank you for your help. I appreciate you. And, Umar Johnson, hey, remind me of that a little bit later. I'll talk about it. But I got to get back to MS13NBC and the math situation. That was totally crazy. I mean, good night. I'm sure you've seen the video by now. Matter of fact, I got to pull it up right quick because I need just a quick reference point so you can kind of understand so you can feel my pain. I'm going to try to bring it up right quick because this was crazy. You know, I thought I had seen plenty of things on television before that were ridiculous, but this takes the cake. I mean, okay, hold on. Matter of fact, no, okay, I'm going to pull it up in the regular video so it has nice high quality and everything will be good the way it's supposed to be. I'm going to pull it up on my video because that was crazy. But like I said, this is pretty much how we're doing things nowadays, you know. And I don't even think people really care. As long as they get some kind of hit piece out against the current administration, then it's all good. Okay, here it is right here. We got to run through it one more time.
Beating this guy, he could do it. It has a possibility if he wants to spend $1 billion beating this guy, he could do it.
Absolutely. Somebody tweeted recently that actually with the money he spent, he could have given every American $1 million.
I've got it. Let's put it up.
Yeah.
Now, right here, they're talking about Michael Bloomberg spending. He spent $500 million, and she's saying that somebody tweeted that rather than spending that money on a failed campaign, he could have given every American $1 million. Okay, so you have, 325 million Americans and $500 million. That must mean everybody gets $1 million, right? So 500 million divided by 325 million is 1 million, according to them. But let's keep going.
Screen. When I read it tonight on social media, it kind of all became clear. Bloomberg spent 500 million on ads. U.S. population 327 million. Don't tell us if you're ahead of us on the math. He could have given each American $1 million and have had lunch money left over. It's an incredible way of putting it.
It's an incredible way of putting it. It's true. Nope. It's disturbing. It does.
I mean, like, okay, let's go back to it. Let's look at this. If you can't see it, I'm sorry, but you heard what I said. It says Bloomberg spent $500 million on ads. The U.S. population is 327 million. He could have given each American $1 million and still have money left over. I feel like $1 million check would be life-changing for most people, yet he wasted it all on ads and still lost. Now, the very last sentence was correct. He wasted all that money on ads and lost. That's right. That's 100% correct. But the rest of that, that's crazy. Okay, let's just bring the numbers down a little bit. Rather than 500 million, let's say $300 million and 300 million people. 300 million divided by 300 million is not 1 million. It's 1. I mean, take the zeros out because it's the same number, same amount of digits. Take the zeros out. 3 divided by 3. How you get 1 million from that? I mean, but this is what we're dealing with. You got a bunch of morons running television. Total morons running television. And I think this is why some people like the socialism, because they don't understand basic math. They don't understand that these numbers they're talking about don't add up. Yang Gang talking about, are we going to spend at least $1 trillion, probably closer to $3 trillion per year to pay for UBI? Like, what are you thinking about here? What are you think? Like, there's no logic. I'm not, Elon Musk, Albert Einstein, or anything like that. I'm just a regular person. I know how to count. I got 10 fingers. I can count. 3 minus 3 is 1. Like, just take the fingers. $1 million is what they got, or more than $1 million. You would get about $1.50 each. That's it. This is where we at, right? And it's scary because people like this. This person has a blue check on their thing. Okay, this is a blue check mafia person. Matter of fact, let's back up a little bit. Actually, hold on. Now, this like the person right here. I think she's like from New York Times. Hold on. Yes, editorial board. New York Times editorial board member. She didn't catch it. Brian Williams, either he was lying as he normally does, or he didn't catch it, and he's about 60 years old. What you got a production guy, graphics guy, sound guy, makeup artist. Nobody said, hey, that tweet looks kind of funny. That math can't really be right. Nobody said that. Like, good grief. I just don't. But I'm not surprised, because this is the mainstream media. This is where we've come to. This is why regular people online are just stomping them in the head when it comes to gaining viewers, retaining viewers. People come to people like myself and many others on just YouTube in their house, in their bedroom, for information, because we give it to you without the moronic spin to it like the mainstream media does. Some of these people, they go to college, they be in there cheating, doing all kind of things to pass, paying money to pass. I mean, we saw that with the whole Lori Loughlin kerfuffle, paying money to get admitted. Her daughter could be a stomped down moron, but it doesn't matter because her mom paid a bunch of money for her to be able to get in there. So it don't even really matter. You understand? And when they graduate, they're able to be placed in places like this, into your MSDNC, into your CNN, CBS, ABC, NBC, etc. And once they get there, they're not going to magically become rocket scientists. They're still going to be the same morons that they were before college. People like myself that said college was boring, not in any kind of way challenging. I just left and decided to do my own thing. And I'm able to see things better than a lot of these people. But I'm not even a genius. That means they're morons. Because I could see if it's just like one guy. I'm one guy by myself. I may make a mistake here and there, sure. Because I'm one person. I'm doing the camera work, the audio work, the editing, taking the calls. This is a one-man band right here in this little desk, in this room. But you got a whole studio of people, a ton of people working on one show. How many? 10, 15, 20 people on one show, and nobody caught it? Man, oh man. But hey, yeah, college was boring. Like when I got to like late high school and early college, I was bored because it just felt like meaningless, like busy work. And I'm just like, well, I'm not doing busy work here. I want to be able to get trained. I want to be able to do a thing that's challenging and not just a ton of work. I felt like I was being trained to be working in the office, just kind of like going through papers. And I can't do that. Some guys can do that, but I can't. I got to be kind of moving around doing different things. But it is what it is. Yeah, exactly, October Scorpio. It sounds like an AOC math class. That's pretty much what it was. And in the AOC math class, you liable to get told that 2 + 2 equals whatever I feel at the time. No numbers anymore. Just like they say, oh, well, you got to believe in science. Well, if you believe in science, if you went to just basic science class when you were in elementary school, you would know that there's boys and girls and that's it. XX or XY, that's it. You got some, genetic disorders, but we ain't talking about, we're talking about just basic, regular stuff. We ain't talking about random, obscure things you make up for yourself, random genders you make up for yourself. Oh, I'm not a boy today. I feel like a puff of smoke. I feel like a piece of chicken at KFC that gets thrown up under the ice machine or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? Like making up things that don't make any sense at all. That's science. But when I say that I'm kind of skeptical of climate change, all of a sudden I'm a heretic. I don't believe in science. It's crazy. But hey, it is what it is. And I feel like a lot of you guys feel the same as me. We just have common sense. And to us, it's just not really common anymore. You would think that somebody will understand how to divide three from three to get one. You think that's like real basic, but people don't understand that. So when I'm watching mainstream media and I'm hearing people talk, I'm just kind of like, what? And then they think I'm crazy. They think I'm the dumb one because I have a brain. Every single day, I think about the movie Idiocracy. I think that was what it's called, Idiocracy, about Mike Judge, the guy who made King of the Hill. That movie was great with Terry Crews in it, like as a president. That movie was on point. I feel like we're getting closer to that point every single day. Every day we're getting closer and closer. And then before you know it, we'll just be in full idiocracy. 1,000%. It's funny, but at the same time, it's not funny because these people, they got to be handling the coronavirus situation. And I'm not trying to have a person that doesn't understand how to subtract basic numbers, how to count on their hand. What's 5 minus 4? You got a whole hand with 5 fingers on it, and you can't figure out to just take one finger away and make 4. I mean, or make 1. You understand? 5 minus 4, make 1. A thumbs up. Or 5 minus 1, get 4. You understand? Real basic. Like I saw this meme, and at this point, I think it might be it might be real. The meme had it was a checkout line, and I guess it was the express lane. And okay, you got to have 15 items in your cart to go through the lane, right? So it had the number 15, and then it had 3 hands with all 5 fingers spread out, and it said this many. So it had hands together, like 3 of these together. So you could just count on your hands. I'm like, really? You got adults reading this? Is that where we are right now? At the time, I thought it might have been a meme. I thought it could have been a meme, but now I'm thinking, okay, that was real. That was 1,000% real because people don't understand how to count anymore. Common Core math, I mean, I don't know if it's Common Core, but I think Common Core is not making it any better. Common Core is definitely not improving it because if people can't even count on their fingers, how are you going to get them to solve more complicated math problems than what they were not solving before? And if we were able to build the best civilization on the planet using some of the same methods we had been for a very long time, why must we try to change it now? Don't reinvent the wheel. What's the purpose of reinventing the wheel when the wheel's still rolling? It doesn't make any sense at all. Are they doing Common Core math in China? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I gotta find that meme. I have to find that meme. Hold on. Is it express checkout line? Express checkout. Oh man, I can't find it. But if you've seen that meme, you know what I'm talking about. 100%. All right. Exactly, Charlie Ride. There's no point in learning because then you won't get nothing for free. People that think that 3 divided by 3 is 1 million think that you can get anything in the world for free. It's just like when I was a little boy and I asked my mom, hey, why can't they just print money? If people need money and they don't have any, why can't they just print it and everybody has it? I had to get explained that when I was about 7 years old, and I understood it. It made sense. What she said was if they just print the money, then it wouldn't be worth anything because the value's in the scarcity. And it made sense to me at 7 years old. I mean, if she didn't explain it like it was that complicated, she was like, well, if they print a lot of it, then it wouldn't be worth anything. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. People are 40 years old still trying to grasp that. I just don't understand. Alrighty. Yeah, China don't play around with the education. It's like, learn this right now or it's going to pretty much be a wrap. 100%. But thank y'all for being here. I definitely appreciate you. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Yeah, I saw that somebody at CPAC had coronavirus. Somebody said they didn't think that the C in CPAC stood for coronavirus. That's not funny, but it is a little bit. But hopefully everybody's good. I think the hysteria behind coronavirus is a little bit just overblown. I feel like you can catch the coronavirus the same as the flu. The only difference would be in the mortality rate. And I'm not really sure what the actual mortality rate is, because I don't know if we have an accurate number of people to, how can I say, there's not an accurate pool of people to be able to survey to get the rate. Because in China, you never know what the number is. It could be more or less than what they're saying. You have no real way of knowing. So I think the main thing is the mortality rate. And as far as I've been able to see, the people that have passed away are elderly. It's the same as the flu from the mortality rate. I mean, the mortality as far as who passes away and the method of transmission. So people have the flu all the time, and that's not really a big deal. You go to airports all the time. You go to the grocery store. You go pretty much everywhere. People have the flu, and it's never really a big problem to just go somewhere and just live life like normal. Don't go around putting your fingers in your mouth and stuff like that. There was this one lady that was trying to explain that. I think she might have been a self-proclaimed expert in the field, and she decided that she was going to go give a press conference and say the ways you can prevent from getting the coronavirus. Check it out.
Today, start working on not touching your face, because one main way viruses spread is when you touch your own mouth, nose, or eyes.
Did you catch that? Hold on. She's right there, like putting her finger straight on her tongue. Like, and you see the concern right here. Oh man, this is not very good. What are you doing? She's right there and on camera, microphones and everything, touching her. I don't think it's really that big of a deal. People do it. You do that all the time and don't even really realize it. This is not even uncommon behavior. This is kind of just normal. What she's doing right there is getting her finger a little bit wet so she can turn the pages of what she's reading. That's all. But that's common to do that. People don't even realize they do it. And she's telling you don't do it, and she can't even, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the bottom line is I think it's kind of overblown. People are getting it, but it's not really that bad. The flu is much worse. And that's just as contagious as coronavirus is. And it spreads in the same exact way. It's a similar disease, but not the same disease, obviously. Yep. I did see that Charles Turner. He asked me, did I see the video where Bloomberg licked his fingers at the buffet? Now, Bloomberg went way above and beyond in Call of Duty. He was doing way too much. I understand you trying to read something right quick. You lick your finger to get the page turn. Okay, I get it. I'm with you. But this man Bloomberg was just going over the top with what he was doing. Okay, matter of fact, I got it right here. Check it out. Like, and then he went and touched it might have some coffee right there or something. That's like, sir, what are you doing? And then, of course, Trump chimed in. That's a real tweet from Trump. It says, Vinny Mike, don't lick your dirty fingers, both unsanitary and dangerous to others and yourself. He's right. This man licked all his fingers. I was like, man, we got coronavirus. We got flu still. We got all kind of things. We got illegal aliens running around doing whatever they want to do. Speaking of illegal aliens, is a great segue into my next thing I was going to say about San Francisco, talking about they're upset that what they say they're upset that ICE came to San Francisco and arrested the guy right outside where he was at. But it's like, look, hey, you can't just be harboring fugitives and doing whatever you want to do. That's not how this whole thing works at all. Okay, you have to follow the law appropriately. Simple as that. You know, but people don't really understand that. The federal law at a certain point trumps local law. You could say that you don't want to have ICE coming to your place, but if you have if you have criminal aliens, not just those that are here illegally, but also committing crime, people that are rapists, murderers, drug traffickers, these guys gotta go. They gotta go ASAP. So, I mean, San Fran is just kind of out of there. They have no leg to stand on, really. They got to pretty much let whatever happens. And I'm glad the feds came to San Fran and got that guy up out of there. He had been arrested like 7 times. You got to go. You have to go. And the same thing can be said in other places, like Lori Lightfoot, the mayor of Chicago. How are you going to be harboring an illegal alien, a criminal illegal alien, who had assaulted a toddler, like sexually assaulted a toddler? It's like, what are you trying to protect this guy for? This is not the fabric of your society. This is not the heartstring of Chicago. This guy should get executed, but he should just, if nothing else, get sent back to where he came from. Don't be here in the US of A breathing up my good air. You have to go, sir. It is what it is. Yeah, you got to go. And ICE, they're not necessarily trying to find just everybody that's illegal. I mean, that'd be nice if you can get out everybody that's illegal, but they have to manage resources properly and go after high profile or high priority targets. And in this case, talking about the people that are gang banging, running drugs, killing people, beating people, assaulting people, physically, sexually, whatever, they got to go. Simple. I don't see why anybody would try to block that. But then again, I do. It's all about trying to maintain power. It's all about votes. It's all about how it looks on the outside to people. They don't really care about people that are inside, because even people that are here illegally want ICE to conduct raids on those that they're trying to conduct raids on. I say that one more time. Even the illegal aliens want ICE to come and conduct raids on their targeted people. That's just, really what because they know who's committing the crime. They know who should be out of their community. They want them gone too, because a lot of them left their place of origin to get away from guys like that, to get away from the drug runners and stuff. Now, what I want them to do is come legally. That's what I want. But they came, some of them, not all of them, to get away from that, to get money, to send it back, and to not be in a dangerous area anymore. And here they come right behind them, and they're getting free reign to roam in a sanctuary city. And it kind of breaks apart their whole little thing they say. Or they say, they're fleeing their homelands. It's poverty, it's crime, it's that and the third. But you let the poverty and the crime follow them to where they are right now. So which one is it? Are you trying to protect them, or are you trying to create the same environment that they left? So what is it really about? That's what I want to know. But I think I'll leave it right there. I think we all know what it is. It's all about trying to get money. It's all about trying to get power. It's all about trying to eventually, rig elections. That's why I don't have voter ID in places. You could be illegal, say that your name is Kareem Akbar, but your name is really Sally Johnson, and then go vote. Because what does gender mean anymore? You can have a male. You could say your name is Steve Jobs, but you could be actually Tulsi Gabbard. But ain't no ID, right? You can't assume my gender or my identity. So I'm going to go in there as Tulsi Gabbard when I'm really Steve Jobs, or vice versa, and vote as whoever I want to vote for. That's their end goal. That's the end game. It's simple. I mean, they're already doing it in San Francisco. They have non-citizens voting for local elections. They're already doing it. So what they want is to have the illegal aliens vote in elections. So then in their mind, they can have people vote for whoever they want them to vote. They can control them. It'd be a controlled voter block. It sounds really familiar, but I digress. Thank y'all for joining. I most certainly appreciate you. Let me see. Pete says, hey, it's been 3 days now, and Mini Mike has still not sent me my $1 million. Is there a way you can ask Brian Williams if he can ask Mini Mike to rush the 1 million he promised via USPS. Hey, if I can get him on the line, man, I definitely do that. I would say my man Pete in the chat said he won his $1 million from Mini Mike, and he's not getting it quick enough. I try to get him send it, through certified mail and get him a tracking number so you can get that to you, man, ASAP. Matter of fact, when I talk to him, I'm going to say, where's mine at? I've not gotten my money yet. I like to get that right now. 100%. Yeah, you have many more elections happening, many more primary elections. You got elections coming up. Up until, I think the last primary election is June 6th. That's the U.S. Virgin Islands. And before that, I think D.C. votes on June 3rd. So we'll be voting in the primary up until June. But I think we'll have a pretty good handle on who's going to be the nominee before then, but you never know. It'd be hard to tell. It may go to a contested convention. And I've already seen Bernie say that if Joe gets the plurality of the votes, meaning if he gets the most votes without reaching the threshold to become an automatic nominee, he'll drop out. So he's already said that. I'm seeing 2016 happen all over again. It was the same thing. It appeared as if Bernie was trying to fight and buck the establishment, but then when it's all said and done, he acquiesced to the establishment. He's doing it already. He didn't even actually lose yet. He may feel he's going to lose. He may understand that he has no real path forward, but he doesn't want to drop out because at that point, it's just like, all right, you're not even really, it's rigged. It was rigged before that, obviously, but he can't actually make it appear to be a rigged thing. And then if he does drop out, some votes may go to Tulsi Gabbard, but not really. I think Tulsi Gabbard is done. Tulsi is hilarious talking about Bernie and Joe should demand that the DNC have me on the next debate. Why? Nobody wants you on the stage, man. Nobody's voting for you. I mean, you're getting like a fraction of a percent of the votes in every state. You have I think 5 delegates. You didn't even win American Samoa, where you're born, where your dad is from. You didn't even win that. So you're Samoan, couldn't win American Samoa. Mike Bloomberg won that. So if you can't win your own home place that's far away, where you're like probably loved, I suppose. I don't know if you are or not. How are you going to win anywhere else in the United States? Go ahead and drop out. What are we doing? Are you going to try to run a third party for what? You're a Democrat, really? What about Tulsi Gabbard says she's not a Democrat? Her only thing is the fact that she is a anti-war person, but who's not anti-war? I don't think anybody run on the campaign of being pro-war. I don't think nobody has said that when I go get elected that we're going to invade Iraq or Iran or wherever. Nobody has said that. So why is she unique at all? She's not. She should go ahead and drop out. She's wasting time at this particular point in the game. It is what it is. The hippie, you talking about Marianne Williamson? Is that you talking about Richard? She's been gone for a long time. We're talking about her. So yeah, she was fun while she was there. I enjoyed her hippie commentary, her hippie musings. It was funny. But yeah, she dropped out a long time ago. Yeah, she got is there a hashtag on Twitter to let her debate? Really? For what though? Like my thing is why? For what reason? Are you trying to get some attention? Are you trying to become part of the administration? Are you trying to get a job? That could be what it is right now. I don't really understand. Steve Cutts asked me, have I heard about a rumor of Creepy Joe picking Michelle Obama? I've heard about that, but I don't think she'd do that because I think she knows she'll lose. I think if anybody's being honest, they know that Joe can't really win. So there's no point in her becoming the vice presidential pick. I think Michelle Obama probably wanted to be the president, if anything else. If nothing, she probably wanted to be the president. She has that kind of alpha dog mentality in her mind. So she wants to be the president, not the vice president. And definitely not under Joe Biden. But then again, maybe she might, because she may understand that Joe Biden has a clock that's ticking and it's starting to accelerate. Not trying to be morbid, but I think even Joe Biden said it himself. He was like, look, I may need to have a vice president that's capable because I might not make it. They got to be able to do the job. I think he knows it. So, that's really just him saying it and me talking about what he's saying. So she could be the vice president if she thinks he has a path to winning, which he doesn't, because if he can't proceed anymore due to health reasons or whatever, she'd then become the president. That could be what's going on. So who knows? And I think that she probably will put Barry in somehow. She might put him as a Supreme Court justice or something. I'm not sure how that would work, but that could be the plan. But I think that Joe Biden has no chance at all. None whatsoever. Tulsi Gabbard would not get more votes than Bernie and Biden, because if that were the case, then she would have gotten a lot of votes so far. She couldn't even beat Edge, Klobuchar, Buttigieg, Joe, Bloomberg, Steyer, nobody. She was barely able to even stand toe-to-toe with Cory Booker and Kamala Harris. So, nah, she has no chance. The people don't want her. That's the long and short of it. They know Joe Biden from Barack Obama's administration, and they know Bernie because he's like an old Santa Claus. Or like your granddad, you can go over there, jump on the bed, throw snacks all over the place, and pretty much act up and get whatever you want. Well, he'll promise you can get whatever you want. He won't deliver. He's like an absentee granddad, but I digress. The point is that Bernie and Joe have the most name recognition, have the most support. Tulsi does not. She could become part of the cabinet if a Democrat were able to win, but being president, no, not at all. And quiet as it's kept, I don't think we're ready for a female president. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but she only won the popular vote in like these big liberal areas. That's where all the votes came from. That's why she won the popular vote. It was an overabundance of people in one little area that voted for her. But Trump was able to win all across the U.S. The entire country is not prepared for a female president. And everybody had known Hillary from years and years and years ago. She's been in politics for a long time, a famous person for a long time, been all over the world. Tulsi Gabbard, who are you, ma'am? Nobody knows. It is what it is. Let me see. GA says Tulsi was kept in the running so she could take out Bernie in a debate since Sleepy Joe is too feeble. Well, maybe so. But at a certain point, I think we're getting close to the end of the primary cycle. And creepy Sleepy Joe is going to be on stage with Donald Trump. And it's going to be ugly. Oh, man, it's going to be so ugly. Like, I don't even really want to see it. It's like, okay, you're getting ready for pay-per-view. It's Mike Tyson, but he's fighting somebody that's like way out of his league. Or Tyson, it's vice versa. You know, Tyson is just too much for him. It's like an adult beating up a baby. You understand what I'm saying? You want to see Mike Tyson fight, but at the same time, you ain't trying to see an infant get beat up. You understand? But they put this man in there. He might weigh 100 pounds. He just gets pummeled for like 5 minutes, or not 5 minutes, like 45 seconds. And then he falls on the ground. Don't nobody want to see that. I want to see him put up a fight. He can't. He can't even remember his own name. What did he say today? I'm a O'Biden. It's like, O'Biden, what's that? I'm an O'Biden Obama president. What's that, sir? Do you even know your own name? So, nah, he has no chance. And they can hide him for a while, but when it comes down to it, you're going to have times where you're going to have to be on stage debating Donald Trump. You're going to be on stage by yourself answering questions. You're going to be doing these rallies back to back to back. And if you don't have enough stamina, if your brain can't keep up with what's going on, if you can't be quick on your feet, if you can't be witty and stuff like that, if you can't stop sniffing kids, sir, you're going to have a problem. Simple as that. And Bernie's no better because Bernie had a heart attack. Bernie looks better on his feet. He's a little bit more witty on his feet than Joe is, but he had a heart attack like during this campaign season, probably from campaigning. So he's not going to be a good guy either. I don't want to see him get on a debate stage and have a medical emergency. I do not want to see that. I mean, I want to see them have a nice debate and go back and forth, exchange barbs verbally. But if I see a guy fall on the ground, at that point, I'm out. I'm not trying to see that. You understand? So this is what the Democrats have made for themselves. They were not preparing people to be in this position. They were not playing the long game. They were just trying to ride Obama for as long as they could, and they were not preparing anybody else. Obama should have had a better vice president rather than this crotchety old man. He should have had somebody young and energetic. Didn't happen. Oh, well, now they're reaping the not benefits. They're getting the penalty for their lack of action. I did not see the Trump town hall, actually, unfortunately. I've forgotten about it. But I heard it was good. I saw that it was like one of the top rated programs in history or something. So I think it was pretty good, but I didn't see it. If you guys saw the Trump town hall, what was your opinion of it? What was your reaction to the whole thing? Because I didn't see it, unfortunately. I wanted to, but I had forgotten about it. All right. And then what else is going on? Oh, I almost forgot the whole Brooklyn kerfuffle. Now, this whole thing was crazy. I can't play it here to try to say that, oh, this is age restricted now, whatever. Now, in Brooklyn, New York, apparently after school, it's right around 4 in the afternoon, you have this girl just out in the street walking, probably going home, and she gets knocked down by, I think, 1 or 2 boys. And within a matter of seconds, like 2 seconds, 18 boys were pummeling her, beating her, stomping her. They robbed her, took her shoes off her feet, some Jordans, of course, took her phone and her debit card. So you have an assault, robbery, all of that by 18 boys on a 15-year-old girl. Now, luckily, she's in the hospital. She's not going to have severe injuries, and she is okay. She could have easily been killed out there. I mean, you're talking about 15, 18 boys on the street in New York. It's, concrete everywhere. The road is right there. There's cars coming. All for what, though? Everybody's black. They arrested 5 of the boys. I'm pretty sure the little girl was black, too. Now, had it been the other way around, had it been 15 white guys stomping the black girl, you would hear that story every day for the rest of your life. We hear Charlottesville all the time. Even though that was a white guy killing a white girl, we hear that all the time. If it were the other way around, 15, 18 white guys on a black girl, I mean, you would never hear the end of it. Documentaries made about it. But since it's black on black or possibly black on white, then there's no problem. It's just another day in the hood, right? And where have we descended to in society where we think that it's okay, not me, but a lot of people in my community, a lot of the black kids, where have we gone where we think it's okay to do that to a girl? I never saw that. I come from the hood. I never seen no girl get beat up by boys. Ever. It was to the point where if a dude was to be like hitting the girl, like guys would step in and break it up. I don't know, but that's where we at nowadays. Like I said, 5 of the boys did get arrested. And my question would be, what's going to be the penalty? Because they're underage, they're teenagers. They had book bags and stuff on. So what would be exactly, Red Pill? It's Trump's fault. Trump, they would say it's Trump's fault. But what's going to be the penalty? They're getting arrested. Is it going to be any kind of jail time? It should be. Because if you beat somebody down in a group of 18 people and you rob them afterwards, I mean, you got all kind of charges. Possibly kidnapping if you moved her or something like that. Assault, battery, malicious wounding if you got really hurt. Robbery and many council robbery for taking the shoes and the phone and the wallet. All kind of stuff. Broad daylight, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Where's the police at? They said that from year to date, to 2020 from 2019, there's been a 34% increase in robberies. 34%. So from January 1st, 2020 to now, March 7, 2020, there's been a 34% increase from the same time last year in 2019. Oh, no, they ain't going to show that, Charlie. They ain't going to show that whole thing on the mainstream media. They'll ignore that. Ignore it. If it's a white guy that punches a black dude in the face and he gets knocked out, they're going to play that all the time. They'll play that every day. It's weird. My thing is, the race thing shouldn't be so overblown. if it's violence that happens and you want to report on it, report on the violence. Don't let the violence be this whole racial thing, especially when it's not the case. Because usually if I see a white guy hurting a black person, which is rare, it's not a racial thing. And I've not really seen that too much. Usually it's like a police officer and they're usually in the right. That's not even a common occurrence. But anytime that it might happen or come close to happening, it wants to be highlighted in the media. It's weird. Oh, yeah, of course, the mayor, that's right, Sushi, the mayor, Bill de Blasio, don't really care. And the police know it, which is why when he comes around, they turn their back on him. They don't want to be associated with him. Of course. Yeah, they don't. And I think the police, I can't blame them for the increase in the crimes in New York because they're hamstrung. Their hands tied behind their back. Every time they turn around, the police, not the police commissioner, but the mayor throwing them under the bus, talking about black men, they can't feel safe. My son can't feel safe. Sir, you need to stop. You need to be backing up your officers in New York to keep everybody safe. When you throw the police under the bus and then make them less able to do their jobs, everyone suffers. That's just the reality of it. But maybe Bill de Blasio and other morons can't understand that fact. But it's a simple fact. And if you're a mayor of New York City, you should understand that. But maybe I'm just, wishful thinking, hoping that people have a brain, when they don't have a brain. But it is what it is. Yeah, and you know what? Rand Henry Wright says New York Redux 1970. They're bringing back the what was that? What was that group in New York that would patrol the subway? The Defenders. Hold on. Let me see. I forget the name of their group. But you know what I'm talking about. It was a group in the 70s and 80s, if I'm not mistaken, that were there to help people like get through the subway and not get robbed, not get beat up. But I forget the name of their group. They're coming back now. And the same guy that started it back then is back now with the same jacket on he had back in the day. Yep. So, and because they have to be, people are getting slashed in the face with pocket knives or box cutters. So it's like, what are we going to do? You have to be able to, protect people. If the police ain't going to do it, somebody's got to do it. So Guardian, yes, thank you. Guardian Angels. Yep, Guardian Angels. Yep, they had their red hats on and the red coats. Yep, they're back now, from what I hear. Or I saw a documentary. I saw something on YouTube about them coming back. Yep. Yep, here it is right here. It says the return of New York City's Guardian Angels. They got to come back. Matter of fact, I'll put a picture of them on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. So just so you can get a visual of what's going on here. Yep, and these guys are now back. I think the original guy, matter of fact, I think I have a before and after, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. All right. So these guys right here. Now, I don't know if they were effective or what they were doing. I'm not from New York, obviously, but I heard that they had to be there because of what was going on. Okay. And I think that might be the guy that was in the front of that first picture. That might be him right there, if I'm not mistaken. And he's back now. And that was them right there. Now, these guys kind of look like they might have been in a music video back in the day. Were they effective? I have no idea. But somebody got to do something if anybody going to do nothing. Yeah, bring back Giuliani. How about that? One thing I do know from New York guys is that Giuliani did a lot to help clean up the city. I heard Bloomberg helped too, to a certain extent, but Bill de Blasio was just a nut. He doesn't know what he's doing. And New York City is not like South Bend, Indiana, Pete Buttigieg. You're talking about a humongous city but a lot of different issues, a lot of different problems, a lot of money that has to get managed properly. And when your wife is taking money and just throwing it away, burning it, setting it on fire, you don't know where it's at, and people are getting beaten, robbed, and everything else, and you can't stop it, then it's time for you to go. Very simple. Alrighty. So thank you all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. We're going to get to the my argument on the morals on abortion. What do you mean? Like, I'm pro-life, of course. If you want to call in, we can have a deeper discussion. But just to answer it right quick, then I'm gonna get to the calls. Life begins at conception. At any point, if the life is stopped, the life is of a human being. So it's murder. The same way that I would say killing the baby is wrong would be the justification behind me saying that killing the baby in gestation is wrong. You know, it's an unborn baby. So if, like, I think it might have been the guy, Ray Caruth, if you remember him. Ray Caruth went to jail. He was an NFL player, played for the Carolina Panthers back in the day. What he did was try to kill his girlfriend at the time, or girl he had slept with or something, because she was pregnant with his baby. And it didn't work. I think she may have died, but the baby did not die, because his whole thing was, I ain't trying to pay child support. So you have a murder, I think, of the young lady, and an attempt murder on a child who is an adult nowadays. I think he has I think he has cerebral palsy or something. He's like disabled, but he did survive. The baby did survive, but I think the mother actually passed away, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But he's free now too, which is crazy. All right. But if anybody, if whoever that was, if you wanted to ask me that a little bit deeper, feel free to call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Don't be afraid to call. They go Skype doing whatever it does. And again, this show will be available on audio streaming platforms. I'll put it out on Monday morning. All right. And I'll be in LA Friday through Saturday of next week. I'm going to try to do some kind of live show when I'm out there, but I will be in LA Friday through Saturday. So I'll be leaving out Friday and come back Saturday, like Saturday evening. So I'll be around. All right. Yeah, the mom did die. Okay. The mom died, but then the baby survived. And he is out, by the way, Ray Caruth. He did come home. I'm not sure how he came home. You killed one person and then you try to kill somebody else. So I'm not sure how that worked, but he's out. This is what I'm saying. Like, if you're in jail for a crack violation longer than the guy that killed one person, tried to kill somebody else, it's like, what are we doing? All right, let me go ahead and fix my ringer right quick. That just blew my eardrum to pieces. I'm glad you guys didn't hear it. I was able to fix that, so you didn't hear what I heard. Somebody says, conservatives think poor people should only have the choice of great medical care or no medical care. Lower medical standards and bring in doctors and guest workers from overseas and healthcare costs will fall. What does guest worker mean? You mean people that are illegal aliens, like, or non-citizens? What does a guest worker mean? So you want to have like almost slave labor, people that don't get paid the same thing as Americans? What does that actually mean? I don't really understand that line of thinking. If you want to call in and explain yourself, sir or ma'am, I want to assume your gender, feel free to do so. But let me get to these calls here that are on the line as soon as I can. Y'all just hang tight. Alrighty, let's go ahead and do Mike from Queens. What's happening?
Hey, what's up, Anthony? How you doing tonight?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
That's good to hear. I don't know if you saw on Twitter. It was trending. There's a neighborhood in Queens, Far Rockaway, about 5 miles from where I live. They have a case of coronavirus there now.
Wow, no, I didn't see that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and Far Rockaway is actually a pretty rough neighborhood.
Yeah, I heard about Far Rockaway. Yeah, so I wonder how I got there. Probably somebody, airport or traveling.
Yeah, well, JFK's basically right down the road. So someone probably stepped off an international flight from somewhere, and yeah, go figure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I tell you, going back to the presidential politics, that's going to be you're going to run out of popcorn watching Trump and Biden debate on stage. I mean, Biden now is at this point now where he would get beamed aboard the Enterprise and be looking around and say, "This is not the Enterprise." And meanwhile, it is the Enterprise, but he would think it would be a Star Destroyer from Star Wars.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, the guy, I mean, but it just goes to show you how pathetic the Democratic Party is. They can't even get someone that's viable. Bloomberg, he's got the resources, had some moderate points, in the couple of debates he was in, but he wasn't going nowhere because he's got no charisma. And really, it's been a while now, but the last real Democratic candidate that could have been any kind of a challenge to the Republicans is here again. I go back to 2016, and they put him in the back of the bus early. Was Jim Webb?
Yeah.
They would have been smart to groom Jim Webb, but you know what? He didn't have. He was well spoken. He had some kind of charisma, not much, but he would have been a more sensible candidate than Hillary and obviously Bernie. Bernie obviously was set up to be the fall guy, and now he's already got the blueprints ready, probably to go for his fourth house he's going to receive as a bribe, payoff from the DNC.
Exactly.
But and going to that girl in Brooklyn, I tell you, it's the crime in the city is out of control. My friend is a police officer in a rough precinct in Brooklyn, and he's trying to move to another precinct, I think, in the city. He's trying to maybe get into Queens somewhere closer to where he lives. And he said you're absolutely right. They're handcuffed. I follow the NYCPBA on my Twitter feed, and that's the policemen's union. They have a great president, thank God for that. Because he really goes out there. He's always in de Blasio's face. He speaks how most of the police officers in the city feel. And this whole thing with bail reform, they can't do anything. And I don't blame the cops for not doing anything. They just want to go in, clean up after a crime gets committed, and that's it. They're not going to go above and beyond the call of duty, because the minute something happens, they have to go in front of the CCRB, which is a panel called the Civilian Complaint Review Board, something like that. And just so much oversight on the police department now. It's not even funny. It's not even worth taking the job, if you ask me.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I'm hearing stories about people like officers, like in California, San Francisco. It's to the point where they have so many things they can't do, they don't do much. It's like, why? What's the point? Like, if I do a thing, I'm going to get reprimanded, or nothing will happen as a result. It's like a almost a thankless job and almost a worthless job, and it's really unfortunate that it's that way.
Yeah, and it's like you just said, it's unfortunate because a lot of these police officers, they go to work every day. They just want to get home to their families, like me and you, after we're done with our shift at work, or whatever, and that's it. But fortunately for a lot of the police officers, from a lot of the cases I've heard, because they have body cameras now, most of the cops have body cameras. A lot of times the police are vindicated because as soon as they get into an altercation or a confrontation with someone, they flip it on. And a lot of times, my friend was even telling me he was vindicated a couple of times because the people turned around and that he arrested or made a complaint or whatever, and said that the officer was unprofessional and this and that. And, the department goes back and looks at the body camera footage in a lot of these cases, and the officers always, most of the time, are vindicated.
Right.
Because they acted professionally.
Absolutely.
And it's only because of all the grievance mobs out there.
Yeah, hopefully that comes to an end pretty soon. That's like the popular thing to do right now. Everybody's got a story. Everybody wants to get attention, and people get believed for a little while. Hopefully that comes to an end pretty soon, because it just kind of gets in the way of people trying to do their jobs and make neighborhoods and cities safe.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I'm fortunate. I live in a relatively safe neighborhood for the most part, and mostly where I work, it's not too bad. But I mean, there were just still some parts of the city that just have been dilapidated for the last 60 years. Even when the police went in and cleaned it up, you still got parts that are really good. South Bronx, some of the notorious neighborhoods in Brooklyn like Bedford Stuyvesant, Brownsville, East New York. I mean, these neighborhoods, you don't want to be walking around there late at night.
Right.
So, all right, thanks for the time, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care.
All right. Great call from my man Mike from Queens. I most certainly appreciate him. And you guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. People are saying that I should call Lucas. I can't call out on this line. I can only accept calls. So if he wants to call me, he can do that. The number to call is 434-658-1220. And then that's pretty much all I can do. So let's get to the next call. Let's go. All right, call you on the line, 309. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, man, my name is Nick. How's it going?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Hey, just stumbled upon your live stream here on Facebook, or on YouTube, sorry. My question for you is, as a Trump supporter, who do you think is the best candidate for Trump to face off against? Would it be Biden or Sanders?
The best candidate for Trump to face off against would be Joe Biden because, well, actually, I take that back. The best candidate for me to witness him fight square off against would be Biden because it'd be kind of like seeing a train wreck, having them in the stage on stage and debating each other. But
Well, I mean, I think that's going to happen regardless.
Yeah,
I think that either Sanders or Biden is going to be a train wreck against Trump because Trump, although I don't think he's a great debater personally, I think that he's just going to not pull out any stops against either one of them, and they both have a lot of flaws. But I think, like, from the American public point of view, what do you think is which one would Trump enjoy more to put him more in a positive light?
I don't think either one of them. Well, you know what? Probably Biden because of this whole Russia thing. You can just put it off on him because he grill him about, the China thing with Hunter, Ukraine with Hunter, and all the things that he did under the Obama administration. He grill him on that. And then, of course, this whole thing with the 94 crime bill that he wrote himself and did not apologize for writing. So all the things about, oh, you're racist and you're dealing with Russia, he can just put it on Joe Biden and let him wear that. So that can definitely help him to look better for sure.
So why do you think then that, it's being reported anyway that Sanders, he keeps talking about Sanders and Sanders gets cheated out of it because he views him as the easiest Democratic candidate to defeat?
You said what now?
Well, because in the media, it's been talked about multiple times that Trump keeps talking about, the Democratic primary is being stolen from Sanders.
Yeah.
Because, and he keeps talking about that because he thinks that Sanders would be the easier one to face in the general election because of his far less views. But you're talking about, saying that Biden would be a better candidate for him to square off against because he'd have a lot more ammo.
Well, it's different things. It's different things. Like if you're talking about just making Trump look good and being able to, have a debate and talk about certain things, Biden will make him look better because he's able to talk about things that he's done in his past that people talk about Trump doing that Biden actually did. The crime bill, Ukraine, China, the Obama administration, or the deportations, whatnot. But as far as being able to win an election, it'd be Bernie Sanders because Bernie is too far of a leftist person. He's too niche of a person. He has a groundswell of support from a very small audience. Therefore, when we're talking about electoral votes and stuff like that, Trump would dominate over Bernie because he has no real ability to galvanize enough people in each state to have it really be competitive. But Joe Biden does to a certain extent. They both lose, but it'd be more competitive with Joe Biden because he has more support from people. People know who he is more, and he's not as far leftist as Bernie Sanders is. So the person he would be able to beat the most would be Bernie, but Biden will make him look good because of how bad Biden looks, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, man, I just want to say, like I said, I just randomly saw this on YouTube. I enjoy listening to you. You seem like you know what you're talking about. I don't necessarily agree with you on the politics side of it, but it's a joy to talk to you.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep, bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Now, what I'm going to do right now, Lucas says he wants to call in. The lines are open. It's jumping, so he might need to try to call in a lot. But the lines are open, so I'm waiting. He says he has a 323 number. I don't see a 323 number on here at all. And I will show you guys, but I can't show nobody else's number. I see 702-309-918, 310-239-631, 619. I do not see a 302 number at all. So if he's trying to call in, I can't tell because I don't see his area code at all. So somebody said ABL scared. I'm ready. What's his area code? You said 702? Okay, let's get to it. All right, call in on the line 702. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, this is the Red Pill Barista.
My man, what's going on?
How are you doing tonight, Mr. Logan?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Well, first of all, I want to give a shout out to my comedy brothers over in China. Thank you very much for sending your trinkets and toys to Walmart and your cheap crap to America, and now you send a deadly virus. Thank you, Chinese. You did a great favor, you commie idiots. Secondly, I want to say one thing. Just like George Romero's zombies from Night of the Living Dead, the Clintons once again crawl out of their graves. I saw the interview with Bill Clinton when he said, the only reason I did that, woman, is because I had anxiety. I'll tell you something there, Bill. You're looking so bad, you're making Hillary look good. The situation is now reversed. It looks like she's too good for you. You look like you're ready to die. I didn't do a thing. Clinton, you are finished. And Hillary, why is there anybody caring about Hulu? Maybe to make people feel better that the coronavirus is out there once they watch that documentary. Forget about it. It's over. Now I want to tell you a little something, Mr. Logan, a little story about San Francisco. I saw your videos on the beating of that 15-year-old girl by those punks. That truly is the end of civilization as we know it, if nobody has feeling about that. I'll tell you something about San Francisco. You asked the question in your video, why is this happening? I'll tell you one reason. Because the cities have become meccas of horror. They're becoming disgusting liberal bastions. And I'll give you an example. 3 stores already on Market Street have closed because the police will not prosecute cases of shoplifting if it is over $700. There are people coming in daily to people's shops, including an 83-year-old woman who's been on Market Street for 47 years, and they walk out winking at her, giving her the middle finger, and when she calls the police, they say, well, how much is it? And she says about $100, $200, and they say, sorry, we don't take reports. That's what they actually tell her. How do you expect our cities to go after something like that? Business closing. Now with the coronavirus, there's another person that's on Pine Street that's telling me people are walking out in his grocery store with sanitizer and toilet paper and all sorts of food, and they can't call the police. They won't come. What kind of cities are we living in? Now London wants to prosecute people, I don't know if you've heard, for being misogynist. That mayor of London, the cities are becoming cesspools. I don't understand why anybody would want to live there. Let me give one other thing I want to say. San Francisco, to all you people who are listening right now to Mr. Logan in Indiana, and listening to him in Wisconsin, and listening to him in little villages and hamlets all across the nation, if you want your cities and towns to become like San Francisco, godless, lawless, disgusting crap on streets, then keep continuing to do nothing. I'm sorry, brothers and sisters. Hiding in the house now watching football and basketball is over. Watching communists like LeBron James saying it's affecting our bottom line if we don't. Why doesn't he go to China and help out in Wuhan now? Where is that blockhead? He's got a head that looks like a tater tot with a brain to match. Do you ever see him? He looks like a mongoloid. And I'll tell you something. He goes around saying, we got to be careful. No, you got to be careful because there's a flu going around because of your commie brothers. And the minute you take your NBA ass over to China and start helping out and playing, that's when I'll have respect for you. But getting back real quickly to all my brothers and sisters who are listening across the nation, I know a lot of you do to Mr. Logan. The time of hiding in your house is over. You want your cities to become like San Francisco and New York where your daughters get jumped by 18 men? You want your cities where no bail in New York, where they walk free and wink at you as they hit you over the head to steal your wallet? You'd better wake up. And if there's another civil war, or if this coronavirus gets any worse, or if they play a dirty deal on Donald Trump, I'm very sorry to say across the nation, but your comfortable lives are over. I am sorry. The good times are becoming nothing now. You're going to have to stand up. If that means voting, if that means getting out in your communities, if that means doing what Greece is doing and actually having patrols so people don't invade, that's what we're going to have to do because the times are changing. And if you're not there, and if you want to hide in your house or act like everything's fine, it's not fine anymore. San Francisco is a crap hole. It's finished. It's over. New York is over. What de Blasio did, he took 12 years of other mayorships and he just wiped them out. Crime is so rampant that I have friends in New York that don't even ride the subways anymore. They said 4 in the afternoon, women are getting groped and they're getting pushed to the ground. They're getting sexually assaulted on the trains, and there's no police coming over anymore because they're so demoralized. They don't even want to go to the crime scenes. Is that what you want your farms and villages to become? Then keep it up and hide, because what Mr. Logan does and what other people do on YouTube is only a tiny little slice of the pie. You're going to have to get involved now, and if that means maybe you're going to not watch football one Sunday, or maybe that you're going to not have to buy that F-154 truck, or maybe you're going to have to go to a community board and say, I don't want my child to be taught by a transgender stripper, then that's what you're going to have to do. Because what's going on in this country with little girls watching strippers, I saw that video with a little 6-7-year-old girl in a chair while a transvestite stripper strips in front of her. Jeffrey Epstein dies and keeps his secrets buried in the grave. Don't you see what's going on? And if we don't stop it, no matter how much money you have in the bank, it ain't going to mean a thing without that swing. Good night, Mr. Logan, and have a great weekend.
Thank you for the call. Shout out to my man, Red Pill Barista, for the call. 100%. Absolutely. Now, y'all told me the wrong area code for Lucas. You said it was 323. Then it became 310. I don't got no time for that. But if he wants to call, I'll give him a couple of minutes here so you can try to call in, because y'all know me. You might be a first-time viewer, maybe you came from his stream, but I love debates. I live for debates. I've been debating all my life. I am a debater. So if he wants to call in, I'll give him a little bit of time so you can call in. I see a 310 number, and he called in at 910 and at 914. Yes, I do have records. I have receipts, 910 and 914. So I'll give him a little bit of time here. And if he can call in, then we can go ahead and get it rocking. If not, then it probably won't happen. So it is what it is. All right, but thank y'all for being here. I most certainly appreciate you. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff, and subscribe as well. If you're over here for the debate, go ahead and subscribe. Might as well. I think you enjoy this content over here for sure. But the number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. All righty. So like I said, I give him a couple minutes. And if I don't see a call, which I do have a caller ID, I have a log, then I got to go ahead and keep on rocking. It is what it is. Yeah, shout out to my man, Red Pill Barista. He always lights it up. 100%. And I'm looking over here at my monitor. I have a dual monitor setup. So right here is my monitor that I can just see what you guys are doing. Over here is my Skype with all my numbers on it, so I can see all the calls coming in. Right now, I got 4 that's in the queue, and I'm waiting on your man Lucas. He is not called in. At least he's not been able to get through to where it's ringing up until the last time he tried to call was 9:14 that I'm able to see. If he's trying to call in, he might get hung up on just because the queue is maxed. But if he keeps calling, then he'd be able to get it to where it's ringing. And when it's ringing, I can see you in the queue. If you're not ringing, I can't see you in the queue, so I can't answer. You know. Oh, I saw that he was live, but he's probably watching this show right here. Matter of fact, hold on. Well, hey, I don't see him. So if you're looking for that debate, I can't do nothing for you because he's not called in. So I'm going to move on with the show. If he calls in at sometime tonight, then that's what we do. But if not, then oh well. We're moving on. Let's get to the next call. Caller, you're on the line 239. I'm speaking to. Everything's good. I got background noise, boss.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I hear you well.
Okay. I have a philosophical question to ask you.
Go for it.
Okay. As you know, I was in school the other day, and me and my friends. Well, as you know, I said as you know, you don't know, but I was in school the other day. I'm sorry. I was in school the other day, and we had a philosophical talk about women and the women's movement, and then the transgender movement. And we came to a halt when we realized that both movements contradict each other. You see what I'm saying?
So you said the trans movement and the women's movement, they contradict each other?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, they do. Because like Elizabeth Warren says, oh, women will never be, accepted as where we came into a halt was when because one of my friends was saying, oh, Elizabeth Warren will never be accepted as president because she's a woman. And another friend said, yeah, women will never do, whatever. And so I asked him, I said, so what if we get a man who identifies as a woman? Would that then be the first female woman or the first female president? And they were reluctant to say yes. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. But they got to say yes, because if they are down with the whole transgender movement, they can't deny her gender, can they?
No, exactly. And then they're like, well, if they go through the surgeries, and I was like, well, what if they didn't and they just identify as a woman? Would that be? Would you accept that as the first female president? I'd be like, and they were so reluctant, but they finally said yes, right? And I said, so what you're telling me is if Trump then decides, hey, I'm going to run as a female, would you then accept him as the first female president? And they said no, which contradicts yet again. And they're like, no, because Trump is making it up at that point. And I'm like, okay, then. Do you get where I'm coming from, ABL?
Yeah, I do.
So my question to you, and what I want to ask you, which is part of the philosophical question here, is, because they also told me that if we were going to have a female president, it would be obviously a Democrat, because the Republicans, they said the Republicans would never, first of all, they'd never even elect a black president. They would elect a female president or a female president. And I mean, if they won't, they're just so messed up. But my philosophical question to you is this, okay? Which do you think will come first? A actual, which do you think will come first? A black Republican president or a female president on either party?
Wow, that's a great question. Man. So you said a black conservative president or a female president, either party?
Yeah. Or a transgender one. I also have to add that one in there. Sorry, I forgot.
Well, we gotta have three categories. We can't say trans and you can't say trans and then also female, because I think that's totally different. I think people will be more willing to vote for Hillary Clinton rather than the Bruce Jenner Caitlyn Jenner. So there should be a third category. So black conservative black conservative, female or trans. I think probably the black conservative first. Or the female. But see, the thing about it, you got reasons why each one will have problems. The black conservative will have issues with the black community. Not wanting to vote for him. Yes. What I think will happen, I think, okay, here's what will happen. I think he would get much more of the black vote than any other conservative because he's black, period. Any other one. But
Right.
it still wouldn't be Barack Obama numbers. Barack Obama got like 96%. It'd probably be like 50%. Half of us would say, okay, we like him, or we will vote for him because he's black. And the other half would say he's Uncle Tom, because he's conservative. And with the woman, I think what would happen is that a lot of people don't really want to vote for a woman to be the president. They think that, they like women, they're not anti-woman, but when it comes to a woman being able to lead, being in a leadership role, they're not really for that quite yet. Hillary came close, but no cigar. She had all the money, all the name recognition, the cachet, the political accolades, the resume. It wasn't enough. So, and the trans, no. People are not ready for a trans person. They were not ready for Boot Edge. And he's just a gay dude. So
that is true.
Yeah, they're not ready for no 6-foot dude named Stella. You understand? So I think it'd be the black Republican first.
Awesome. And last question. This is a real quick question. People are saying that Bernie is collapsing and Bernie is out. Last question. Do you think that Bernie is really out? Do you think there's still a fighting chance for Bernie Sanders to capture this nomination?
Bernie's done. And the reason why I say he's done is because he came out, it might have been today or yesterday, and said that if Joe Biden got the plurality of the votes, he'd drop out. So I'm like, all right, you were already pretty much saying you would just drop. You're not even going to try to fight it. Like, see, he's going to be out. I think that he knows that Joe Biden has a lot of momentum. He has the, establishment on his side. It's 2016 all over again. He'll bow out. He'll probably get some money to go out and buy another house, another car, and he'll be happy. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, but people are also saying that all he needs to do is wait out one debate, just one debate, and people will start turning on Biden because of how bad they think he'll do on a debate.
Well, Joe Biden's been doing bad throughout this whole time. Like, he's not done.
I know.
He's not done well at all. So it won't be a dramatic turnaround. I think everybody pretty much knows who Joe Biden is at this particular point. So he won't do any worse than what he has been doing. So, I think it's pretty much over.
True. All right. Well, thank you, man. And thank you again for everything you do, man. I really enjoy watching your show, and I make sure that I shut everything off just to watch your show when you come on, man. Thank you so much for that, especially the live ones where you interact with us, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep. Have a good one.
All right. Shout out to the caller. And speaking of Joe Biden not really knowing what's going on and performing very badly, I found this clip right quick on Twitter. Let me see if it has kind of what I'm looking for in it.
And turn this primary from a campaign that's about negative attacks into one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelect. We cannot win this reelection. We can only reelect Donald Trump. And turn this primary from a campaign that's about negative attacks into one about what we're for, because we cannot get reelect. We cannot win this reelection. We can only reelect Donald Trump.
So if you didn't hear that, I'm sorry for the left ear action. He says we cannot win this reelection and we can only reelect Donald Trump. Like, what are you saying, sir? He doesn't even know he's not able to keep his train of thought. He's not able to memorize things and get them out very clearly. And there's nobody there. It's like shadow boxing and you missing the target. You understand what I'm saying? So once you get into the actual ring and try to fight somebody, you're going to get beat all in your head because you're not even able to, your equilibrium, you're kind of discombobulated. But let me get to the next call. All right, let's go. Hold on, I have a call. There we go. All right, Matt, what's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Hey, I'm wondering how the heck the DNC convinced Buttigieg and Chloe Amy to drop out. Like Bernie, like these primaries were a layup. All the polls had Bernie like winning 9 out of 10 of them, and somehow somehow they convinced these people to drop out, and also at the same time, Warren was collecting money, like leading right into Super Tuesday. They somehow convinced her to say, "Stay in it and keep going. You're doing great."
I can't really call it. I think the main thing here is that it's the establishment. They're down with it. Edge, and Klobuchar and all of them, they're down with it. So the DNC comes to him and says, "Hey, you don't see a path forward. I need you to go ahead and drop out, and then support Joe Biden." And then they might try to sell him on it. Oh, well, get behind Joe Biden. We can't survive 4 more years of Trump. And if you can all get behind him, then you'd be able to get Trump out of the. That's probably how they sold it to him. They probably just bid on it.
I watched the debate, and there was zero sign of that. They are very organized. The DNC, even though they're broke and they're beholden to everybody, they're a unit. And like Trump said that Pocahontas ruined it for Bernie. I mean, maybe 60 to 70% of her voters would have moved over to Bernie. And
you think so?
Yeah, I mean, Trump's analyzing this stuff, and I feel like he's got a better pulse on it. But it was a layup for Bernie, and somehow these two candidates, dropped out, and they also kept what's her face from Tulsi Gabbard off the stage, by changing the rules again. 3 candidates, they Bloomy and Buttigieg and Amy all dropped out. I mean, in a master stroke. There's some states, I guess Michigan allows you to change your vote if your candidate had dropped out and you had voted for them and you'd like to change your vote. So there's even states adopting change your vote because your person's out of it rules.
Wow, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. This coronavirus, I think. So I'm in the heart of it here. So Pete, the town right next to us is the one on lockdown, and then the schools are canceled. My kids might not go to school this week. I think it's devastating, not so much from the disease perspective, but from the economic perspective.
Yeah, that's the main thing. You can't move around. You can't engage in commerce. You're pretty much stuck. Yeah, that can be very damaging. And I think that's the main thing people were talking about. Especially if you can't get things into a place, lack of materials. It's the impact it has on just logistics, not necessarily the disease itself.
Yeah, I mean, we're fairly wealthy around here. I mean, relatively speaking, but most people are still paycheck to paycheck. Mm-hmm. And I think what could end up happening in this area, especially, and where the Amazon, where the Boeing 737 Maxes are piling up on the ground, if people stay home and they can't telecommute, which is most people can't telecommute, they're gonna not pay rent for a month or two. And the cascade effect of that is tremendous. And I know we all disagree on this, but and I think it was NBC of all outfits actually gave Trump a really fair interview, and Trump is on point in his interviews, and he is so sentient as to what's being asked of him. And he's Joe Rogan was talking about him the other day. They're like, man, this guy's a comedian. He's just rolling with it. He's just so sharp. But they asked him, hey, when you ran, you said you're going to pay the deficit down. Look at the deficit. And Trump said, I wanted to build the military up. I'm going to address the deficit is going to be my number one concern in my second term. That was his response. Mm-hmm. And they're like, why aren't you worried about it? He said, because the interest rates are just so low. So Trump is it's double or nothing on the economy. He's saying, listen, we're going to put all the chips on the table. We're going to go double or nothing because the interest rates are so low. We're going to try to hit at least once and get that big win, and then maybe pay down the deficit. I'm really hoping that's what he's saying, but it is a gambit. And this Boeing thing and this coronavirus, it's not good. I mean, for placing that bet.
Yeah.
So shout out to the Red Pill Barista.
Yes, indeed.
Please. And get Amazing Anthony on too. I really appreciate your podcast, and I hope the economy doesn't like wash up like a wave. You know what I mean? Right in front of November. But Bernie getting dropped out is huge. I mean, he's still got a 20-something% chance according to the odds makers. But
it's over.
Yeah,
because he even said like, hey, if he gets the plurality, I'll drop out. He said that already, so he's done.
He's at 42% right now. He needs 8 more points, and Biden has the plurality. So it almost looks like a done deal. But you made a comment earlier about this might be an election of vice president.
Yeah.
And I thought that with Bernie, but you said it with Biden, and you might even be even more right. So Biden's gonna. He's almost dead. I mean, so who's his vice president gonna be? But thank you for everything, and keep going.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, bye.
Thanks to my man Matt for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And you guys on the drill, the number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get to my next one here. All right, let's go. 918, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 918. Yes.
Oh, I didn't think I got through.
You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Patrick, YouTube Deadworm. I had a couple things I wanted to come across.
Alrighty.
Like with Elizabeth Warren. When she bowed out, she did her whole bow out speech, but then at the end, she was pointing fingers. This is why this didn't happen. This is why that didn't happen. Pointing fingers at people, you know. And the thing about it is the Democrats are not unified as much as the Republicans are. Republicans are as much as we are under Trump. They are eating themselves. And we've seen that through the debates. I watched your live stream during the debates. Your thoughts. And now I also saw, real quick, I also saw that it was something that was trending on Twitter was let Tulsi debate.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like they are so scattered. That whole party, Democrats, are so scattered. And your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the Democrats, I think what's happening right now is there's a power struggle. You have Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer trying to maintain control of the party, but they don't have it anymore. It's pretty much in the hands of social media because AOC and people like that are dominating that field. They're out there. They're talking. They're morons even more than Pelosi. Like Pelosi and Schumer at least understand politics. They at least understand DC, but AOC.
I wouldn't even say Pelosi understands.
Well,
politics that much.
Well, not really. I mean, they understand it as far as what their party is wanting to do, like how they want to go forward. But AOC and them, they have no idea. They're morons. But they're running the show because they're popular. They're like social media influencers leading the whole Democratic Party. They have no real understanding of politics at all. Therefore, there's a power struggle. And then you have people like Bernie Sanders and Pocahontas and the general electorate who were kind of just confused. You have the older people that live in kind of conservative states that still want to vote Democrat. They don't appreciate all this LGBTQ, every letter in the alphabet stuff going on. And then you have a part of the Democratic Party that thinks that they are a unicorn. They think that their gender can't be defined. They want to use the bathroom with everybody. So you have way different kind of people that have nothing in common in the same party. How can they coexist? How can they coalesce around one person to send to the White House? It's going to be difficult. So that's what they're facing right now.
That also does bring me. I'm sorry to cut you off. That does bring me also on another part. The Democrats aren't even unified under Joe Biden. But what if Joe Biden, and I keep hearing this past couple of days, keep saying this is if Joe Biden picks his vice president as Hillary Clinton. But I'm also hearing Michelle Obama might get into the race because with Hillary Clinton, because there's no confidence in Joe Biden going up against Trump. And that's all the Democrats keep thinking about and want to do is try to beat Trump. And I don't think they can beat Trump. They're trying to pull out everything they can to beat Trump.
Well, they're not going to be able to do it. I think that it's a little bit too late for that. It should have been trying to roll Hillary or Michelle or whoever out a little bit earlier. I mean, we're about to be in the spring, and they're still trying to roll behind Joe Biden. All these candidates already endorsed Joe Biden. And if you have Barack Obama come out and endorse Joe Biden, that'll pretty much be a wrap. They can't just then say, oh, okay, let's put Michelle Obama or somebody in there. I think it's pretty much set in stone who they're going to roll forward with. And even if they tried to put Hillary Clinton in there, it wouldn't make a difference because the Democratic Party that is already in a pretty deep hole to begin with.
Well, I think it's pretty stupid that people are bringing up Michelle Obama. I mean, that's off the left because they want so bad to beat Trump that they're just going down through the roots to do anything that they can to beat Trump. And nobody's going to beat Trump. It's Trump 2020.
That's right.
All right. I appreciate you taking my call, but I also want to leave off with one last thing. ABL Gaming, come on. Are you going to do some cyberpunk ABL Gaming?
You know what? It's a lot of good games coming.
We need some. We need more gaming on ABL Gaming.
I know it. I know it.
More content.
I do.
But are you going to do cyberpunk when that comes out?
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get some time because when that comes out, I will have it. So I'm gonna just try to have some time and stream that for y'all for sure.
All right. I just wanted to leave it off with a good note there. And when you do that cyberpunk, I'm going to watch it.
All right, man. Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. You have a good night.
All right. Same to you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank you to all the super chats. Shout out to John Curse for your super chat. I most certainly appreciate you. Shout out to Elijah Jean who says, honored to be listening. Well, thank you for your support. I most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to Richard Mackey who says, as a Christian, it fills me with anger to see kids gang up on someone over words or shoving. If I was there, I know I would have tried to stop it, but end up in legal trouble. Thank God I got my wife out of New York City when I did. Yeah, man, I'm hearing that it's getting bad out there. But thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. And it's sad to see something like that. You know, you got this girl getting beat on by all those boys. It was crazy. Thank you to Mandatory Carey who says, at work, but hashtag keep fighting is far from over. You're most certainly right about that. And I thank you for your donation. Let me see. Scott Welch says, my parents have paid insurance from GM and still will vote for Bernie if he's a nominee. After I explained why that was stupid, she said, everyone should have health care. I mean, you know, a lot of people don't really understand how these things operate. They don't understand how these things work. They hear this whole thing of universal health care, everybody gets it, it's free, but they don't understand how much it costs. They don't even understand that their taxes would be raised, and they don't understand how raising taxes would impact your cost of goods and services. Some people say, I don't mind paying more taxes. I got money. You might got money right now, but when taxes go up, so does everything else. Gas, just the general cost of living, food, gas, clothing, everything goes up, and you got to pay that. So you thought you had money, but you, in essence, don't have any money because of how expensive things are now. But thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. And shout out to Smith & Wesson, who says, Colonel Sanders looks like one of the judges on the Muppets. All right, you're talking about Bernie. Thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Prescott S., who says, Joe will pick Hillary, then they will assassinate Joe just to get Hillary the office. Now, they don't got to do all that. he just croaked. But thank you for your donation. Shout out to Matthew, who says, not overblown, huge economic impacts. Thank you for that. Shout out to Zach Woodcock, who says, tradition for me to donate every video I have a chance to watch. 10 days before my 21st, so here's to another successful day of ABL programming. And thank you for your donation, man. Happy early birthday to you. Happy 21st. Be responsible. Don't go out there acting up, man. Thank you for that. Now Let me see. Shout out to, did I already read this? Let me think. Shout out to Prescott S, who says, ABL, do you think the math was a mistake or just another engineered lie they thought they would get away with? That's a good question as far as the whole MS-13 NBC kerfuffle where they read the wrong thing or they saw the tweet and it was totally wrong, didn't catch it. It could have been an engineered lie. They could have just saw it and then were like, you know what? They ain't going to catch that. We'll make the point, and so what? Nobody will catch. Like, I don't know why they would think that. Either way it goes, they're a moron, because if they thought we wouldn't catch it, that's moronic. Of course we're going to catch it. If they did not think anything of it was wrong, they're a moron. Or it could just be a way to get attention. Knowing that we call them out on it, they get attention to their family network. That could be it. I don't know, but I digress. Shout out to Redheads Rule, who says, what do you think, if any, is the backdoor plan for Biden being the Democratic nominee? I don't think Biden can actually go head-to-head with Trump. Well, I thank you for your donation. I think the main thing is that they don't have anybody else. Who are they going to put in there that can get enough votes to be able to succeed? You know, I just don't really think they have a choice. They pretty much back into a corner. But the plan could be to have a vice president come in there and take over when Biden cannot go on anymore. That could be what they want. They could put Tulsi in there, quiet as it's kept. It could be this whole thing about let Tulsi debate could just be a big ruse. So you see Tulsi Gabbard a little bit more, you get comfy with her, and then Joe Biden says, you could be my running mate. And then he bows out. He can't go on anymore because he's medically enabled. And then she takes over and becomes the president. First female, minority, all the boxes checked. Thank you for your donation. Most certainly appreciate it. Shout out to Ellie Bell, who says 500 million will only make 500 people millionaires. Exactly. Thank you for that. Valerie Wise, thank you for your donation. She says nobody believes in mainstream media anymore. No, they don't. And let me get back to the calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Caller, you on the line, 631. Who am I speaking to?
Is this ABL?
Yes, it is.
Hey, I wanted to talk about the topic I heard about earlier. Not on your show. I was listening to a podcast. The term black tangibles. Are you familiar with that?
Mm-hmm.
I heard this term a couple years ago. I heard Tariq Nasheed use it for the first time. And my understanding was that it means money or reparations. Is that a good synopsis of what it means?
Pretty much, yes, because people that say that, what they ultimately are going to ask for is reparations.
Okay, so I don't know how I came across this. I guess I clicked through a link on YouTube, and I heard a podcast by, I guess you'd say it's a radical podcaster, maybe a black supremacist or something. It was not Tariq that made this video, but it had 50,000 views since March 2nd, so it obviously has a substantial audience.
Okay.
And this guy spends half an hour or more demanding. First, he uses the term black tangibles, and then when he gets to maybe halfway through the podcast, he says, "Cut me a check. Just give me my money."
Hilarious. I mean, not surprised. That's par for the course.
Now, the other term I've heard, and it wasn't on this podcast, but I've heard in the same, I guess you'd say, circle or threads, they refer to an abbreviation, ADOS, and I think it stands for American Descendants of Slavery.
That's correct.
Okay, so this podcaster says that the amount of money owed to these descendants of slaves, well, he didn't use that term, but that's what he was getting at, is $12 trillion. I have no idea. I have no idea how this is calculated. But I said to myself, let me look up what the entire national debt is. And I just typed in the internet, and I think the number 21.6 trillion comes up.
Mm-hmm.
So 12 out of 21.6 is 55.5%. So in other words, just suppose, theoretically, a check was going to be cut to every one of these descendants of slaves totaling $12 trillion. It would literally increase the national debt by half or more in one shot.
Correct.
Which obviously is not going to happen. But that's, this is the same people, I guess the same type of folks that think that that Bloomberg could have given everyone $1 million and had money to spare. Like, it's that sort of crowd, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So, so this fellow, he is claiming that black voters, and again, this is a black podcaster, black voters should boycott the Democrats because until their constituents are getting these black tangibles, they should withhold their vote, which obviously would be great for Republicans. And he slammed everyone, Buttigieg, Bernie, Biden, Pocahontas, Steyer, Bloomberg, and even Barack Obama. He was livid at Barack Obama, apparently because Barack Obama didn't cut him a check. He calls the HCBU, which is historically College Black University president.
HBCU.
And he calls the black pastors, he calls them all bootlicks.
Wow.
So this is the setup that I'm getting to here. Because again, this guy, you think he sounds like a lunatic, but 50,000 views in 5 days. He has an audience.
Mm-hmm.
Right? How big is this reparations/black tangibles movement? Is it a majority of this community, or is it something, or is it a fringe thing?
Fringe. It's not big at all. It only exists online for the most part. I've been to a meetup of ADOS. I've been to an ADOS conference. It's not much going on. And there's another one that I did not go to. They had one at the same time where I went to the White House last year, and it wasn't a whole lot going on. It was at a church. It might have been 100 people there. So this really mostly exists online. It looks kind of big because you see numbers, but that's just people online listening to it. And that's pretty much it. Like, for that to actually, like, hit the whole thing about don't go out there and vote and, tangibles, obviously that didn't really make a difference because look at South Carolina, look at Tennessee. You see the black vote going for Joe Biden without fail. So, I mean, it's not big at all. I think what we're doing over here with the conservative movement and the black community is bigger. Now, I'm not going to say it's like humongous to the point where we're able just to change the vote from 90% to 10% overnight, but it's much bigger than that. And also, one thing about the tangibles, that's part of FBA. That's Foundational Black Americans. Then you have ADOS. So even within that group, which is kind of fringe, it's fractured. You got some guys that follow Tariq Nasheed. That's the FBA. And then you have guys that follow ADOS. That's Tone Talks and Yvette Carnell. So that movement is small and fractured.
But as far as boycotting goes, is there a serious movement to boycott all of the Democrat candidates because they're not providing, a check? Because, for example, Trump has spent years talking about, let me give money to the HCBUs, and he has the presidents of these universities come in to the Oval Office and to his conference rooms, and he takes photos with them. And apparently they've gotten a large amount of money. He talks about opportunity zones, but he's not saying, here, let me give you a check. Are the Democrats being essentially extorted for a check? And is there a good chance that a sizable number of the people in these movements would just say, to heck with it, I'm not going to vote at all?
I mean, some of them may not vote, but it's not going to be a lot of people that do that. That's the whole thing. So it won't really be a sizable movement. Because if it were sizable at all, you would have heard about them outside of YouTube and the internet in general. You would see them doing events. Like you would see them doing stuff if you really don't see that. Now, it could get to the point where they start to grow and stuff like that, but as of right now, it's not a very big movement, and it won't be a lot of people that actually boycott. Some may, but not enough to really make a difference.
That brings up one other point that I just wanted to make, and then I'll go. I heard about 2 weeks ago, I guess, I think Scott Adams had clued me into it by watching his program. He referred to something Van Jones had said, and it was on CNN, and Van Jones said, the fact that Joe Biden had got blown out so badly in the first 3 primaries and caucuses, that black people had been excited about Barack Obama because they realized that white people would vote for him too. It wasn't just a black candidate. He had a multiracial electorate, and therefore Obama could win. He said black people are looking at Joe Biden get blown out in Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and that at that point they were saying, well, this is a guy that can't win. Now, at the time I heard that, South Carolina hadn't happened yet, and it seemed very reasonable. And then South Carolina happened, and then we realized that wasn't true. So I guess I say, you know, when you look at what happened on Super Tuesday, Joe Biden swept the South.
Yeah.
And Bernie Sanders did very well out west and states, I'd say, middle of the country and north. So it certainly looks to me like Biden has this thing wrapped up. But, you know, just what Van Jones had said, like I said, it sounded reasonable that black people were looking at Biden and saying, this guy can't cut it. But I guess they changed their mind. I don't know.
Nah, I mean, Van Jones, he wasn't right. He was incorrect. Joe Biden was able to get the black vote because he was Barack Obama's vice president. That's it. That's the only reason. Nothing else. Nothing about, it's not really that deep about, oh, he can win. And it's not, because most Americans are not into politics like that. You know, I saw something on TV today. They said that only 25% of Americans can name all three branches of government. 25%. So this is not a thing that people think about like that. Van Jones and people in D.C. may talk about stuff like that, but the average person does not. So, nah, he was Barack Obama's vice president. Black folks like Barack Obama. He was a cool guy, young, black, had a family with the kids. You can relate to it. That's why I voted for him in 2008. And my friend's family the same way. That's the only reason why Biden has black support is because of Barack Obama. That is it. That is all, nothing else. But, hey, man, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Have a great night. Thank you so much for taking my call.
All right, no problem. All right, shout out to my man for the call. I most certainly appreciate him. Let me get to my next call here. 580, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This is Kelly from Oklahoma. I've only called 100 times tonight.
I'm glad I got you on. How's everything going?
Well, let me tell you, it's been pretty rough here in Moore, Oklahoma. Are you from Tennessee?
I'm not from Tennessee, but I live here now. I'm from Virginia.
Well, how close did the tornadoes get to you?
Not very close, probably about an hour and a half to 2 hours away. Very unfortunate, very sad. I've been up that way a lot. That's like in Nashville. I've been up there a lot, and I've been through that particular area before. It's really sad. And I think the reason why it hit so hard is because it was like middle of the night with no warning. People were caught off guard.
Well, I feel their pain. I'm from, I call it Mornado. We've had lots of tornadoes here, but I was concerned about where you were in Tennessee. So, on the coronavirus, my daughter is an RN, and she works at the hospital where the one case in Oklahoma has been discovered, which I won't name the hospital.
Right.
And so, you know, I had a long conversation with her tonight, and I said, well, are you scared to death? Is everybody, you know, what's going on? And she said, the media has overblown. She said, it's real, and it's a virus, and you can catch it. But wash your hands and just do the normal precautions. She said, I am no more afraid of it than I am for someone having the flu. And the cases that somewhere in Seattle that a whole bunch of people died at once or something, her information that they gave her was this was in a nursing home. And so you're talking about people with comorbid situations. They're older, they already have, you know, issues. And I'm not belittling it. I'm not saying it's not there. But from someone who is being briefed on this daily, because it's in the one case that we know of in Oklahoma is at their hospital. She's not wearing a mask. You know what I mean?
Right.
For that.
Right. Yeah. I think you're right on point about people just kind of overblowing it, and your daughter is, you know, just saying it's not really. It's like you said, it's a real thing. It's a real virus, but it's not like the Black Plague.
Well, this is what I believe is that They have nothing else, the left, whoever it is, the media, the deep state, whatever you want to call it. The only thing they have at this point, the only thing they have is fear.
That's right.
They can't make the economy go bad. They can't impeach the president. They can't make the lie be truth. They can't make the truth be a lie. And so the fear, and you see the effects of it. However, they can't kill a bunch of people with this virus if this virus is not what they're saying that it is. And I've said time and truth walk hand in hand. So, I mean, I'm washing my hands every time I go somewhere. But I asked her, I said, are you scared to death to go to work? And she said, no. She said, you don't have any more chance of dying from that than you do the flu. She said, it's a less percentage mortality rate.
Mm.
And this is the hospital where the coronavirus is, the only one that we know of in our state right now.
Right.
But all they have is fear, and they're going to run that as long as that will run. And when that doesn't happen, then something else,
Absolutely.
The ABL, do you remember way back the first time I called you, I told you that Hillary would run again?
Yes.
I think she's going to do it. I think she's going to be the vice president. I think she's going to come in to say, here I am to save the day.
Hey, that could happen. So do you think the plan is for her to take over for Joe when he says, I can't do it anymore, I'm having health problems, my mind is leaving me? Is she going to take over and become the president or become the front runner?
No, I think she's going to be the vice president. And then as long as Joe can, speak or whatever, he'll just be a talking head. And she'll either, I better be careful of what I say here. I don't want to die. Something will either happen to him for her to be the president. I mean, I think that's the plan. I don't think it's going to happen. But I think we better open our eyes. And the reason she's going to run, same reason I said the first time, is to claim political persecution because of all of the things that are finally, hopefully, going to come out. That she may have to testify. Did you hear about that with Judicial Watch?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
So, I'm following that, and we'll see what happens. But I'm praying for the people of Tennessee. I'm from Moore, so I kind of know what that's about. My daughter lost her house in the tornado in 2013. But
wow.
It's very sad. But if anybody else is as calling as hard as I am tonight, I'm going to get off this phone so they can talk to you.
Thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate her. Hey, did you guys see this story about Jeffrey Epstein's cell? Okay, hold on. Let me pull it up right quick. See if I can. Okay, let's not play that. Thank you. And let me see if I can pull the article up so you guys can see it. And thank y'all for being here. Most certainly appreciate you. Okay, let me see if this shows up. Okay, now it's kind of hard to see, but they found a loaded gun. Listen to me now. Listen to me clearly. They found a loaded gun in an inmate cell, and they had been trying to find the gun for 8 days. 8 days they could not find a gun in a jail. This is the same prison, not prison, the same detention center, federal detention center where Epstein, quote unquote, killed himself at. So if you could find a whole gun, loaded gun in a jail cell where Epstein, it ain't the same cell, but in the same complex, in the same building where Epstein, quote unquote, killed himself, why would I believe the story that Epstein killed himself? If you can't even keep a gun out of the detention center, how would you be able to protect this high-ranking, high-profile guy, Jeffrey Epstein? It took him 8 days to find it. How is it so hard to find a gun in jail? Talking about, oh, it's the federal building, no guns permitted. And that goes to the next thing. If you can't even prevent a gun from getting in jail, how are you going to prevent guns from being on the street? All these gun laws are stupid, but I digress. Let's get back to the calls. All right, Jordan, what's happening?
Hey, ABL, you can hear me?
I hear you well.
All right, yeah, you were just stuttering in and out. Yeah, I couldn't come last week because our last session because my computer was jacked up, so I had to wait on that.
Oh, it's all good, man. But what's happening?
Nothing much. What's up?
Everything's good, man. What's on your mind?
Well, one thing on my mind is the absolute the tension going on right now between black people and Bernie bros, since they were so mad about the black vote not going to Bernie. There's this great Reddit post, and I don't know if it's a troll or not, but I wanted to read it to you. It won't take too long. In New York, why does Bernie do poorly with black voters? In New York, 75% of black people voted for Hillary. If it went 50-50, Bernie would have won New York and then the presidency. I just don't get why they do this to themselves. Black people lost 50% of their money in the recession. A black kid today is statistically more likely to end up dead or in jail than get a college degree. Black people are disproportionately affected by the war on drugs. Considering Bernie's position on Wall Street reform, free college, ending the drug war and death penalty, you'd think that he would be great for black people, but it's like they have drunk the Kool-Aid and they vote in droves for Hillary. Bernie merely talks about things like economy, the velocity of money, breaking up banks that pose a systematic risk, and financial transaction tax on speculation. Is Bernie's message too confusing for blacks to understand? What is a simple way to explain it? Could we ask Killer Mike to make it into a rap song?
Wow. Wow. Wait a minute. Wait. Pause. So this came from a Bernie bro?
Apparently so. I don't know if it's a troll or not, but this is from the Bernie subreddit forum. So
now you know the best way to see how people think about this in the Bernie section is to see the comments. So like you see any comments on this where anybody's saying
it's just a screenshot right now. I'd have to look to find the comments.
Okay, yeah, because you got to see them comments because that'll tell the story right there. Because if it was just a troll, people would pretty much be like, "Oh, get out of here, you're racist." But if people really believe that, which some may believe that, then you're going to see the comments that are corroborating it.
Yeah, I might find that out and check that with you. But this is interesting. This was floating around, so I thought I would share it with you because it is interesting. You would think that with all the stuff Bernie is doing, they would black people would toe the line to Bernie, but them going to Biden is merely making Bernie bros seethe a little bit.
I mean, we saw them fight. Like, it was a Bernie bro fighting a Black Guns Matter dude.
There was a guy who I think said supported Bernie but didn't like his views on gun control, and some dude said that you're supporting racism with that, and then they both got into a fight.
Yeah, they got into a fight.
Yeah, what was interesting was that the Bernie talking still happened, and the fight was just happening like.
Yeah, like it was just part of the show. It was like, I'm gonna keep on going. Y'all fight in the background. That's entertainment besides me.
Yeah, that was funny. But yeah, this might be I don't know. I wonder what would happen if because I've always thought this. It just, for me, it didn't make sense, but then it made sense in the end because of Biden's relationship with the black community. But all the younger black folks, like people like my age, people under you, pretty much, like in their 20s and in their college years, they will probably vote for Bernie. But people your age and above, they'll go straight for Biden. My brother, he's a staunch Bernie supporter, and I everything I say will not convince him otherwise. And he had said that if Sanders doesn't get the nomination, he's gonna vote for Trump as a retaliation vote, since of his dislike for the DNC. So it's just interesting to see this happen. You know, memes talking about it. It's all good. You know.
Right.
Yeah, and then that woman who made the commentary about the Bloomberg, Makita Rivas. One thing you should know about her is that it was been too long since she graduated from college. She got a degree in journalism and English from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And she had doubled initially when she made that comment and people pointed out her incorrect math. She doubled down.
No way. No.
I got to read this. She privated her Twitter account and her Instagram after realizing that she screwed up. But here was the tweet she said after the one you posted. Blah, blah, math, blah, blah. People are telling me my numbers are wrong, but the point still stands. He could easily afford to give everyone $1 million and literally never notice.
No, no, he can't. He actually can't. It's just no. Because to give everybody in America $1 million, you got to have $327 trillion dollars. There's not enough money on Earth to do that. Nope. You could put all the Earth's GDP together. It wouldn't be enough. You would still need to double and triple that up.
Yeah, but this is a common thing here. You can see a lack of math knowledge within people. Like, you know how you debate all these people and they talk about, well, white people commit more crime than black people. And then they bring up per capita, and then you bring up like per capita, and they easily default to, well, per capita is racist, or they just ignore it. This is the type of crowd you're talking about. Like,
yeah, right.
People who look at Bernie Sanders' policies and say, yeah, and don't even consider how much this would cost, or don't care at all. There's a common trend with that when it comes to these people who vote for these policies, and it's not fun. I was debating going back and forth with somebody about Calvin Coolidge's policies. And me being in school for engineering, I have to know some sort of, at least an extent of math. So I had to do calculations and use the calculator installed on my computer. And by the time we got done, I was sitting here like, what are you doing, man? You asked for this and now you want to back out, So, this is all too common. It goes to show how smart college makes you,
That's right. I mean, I find it really astonishing that people can graduate college now and come out and be on the editorial board of New York Times and can't even do simple division. Like, you got some stomp down stone cold morons graduating, which is why these degrees are starting to mean less and less. I mean, you gotta have a master's degree or a doctorate to get anywhere that you used to be able to get with a simple bachelor's degree.
Exactly. There's a concept that I've known way back in like elementary school called counting zero, like canceling zeros.
Yes.
So you can turn like 5 million divided by 1 million into just 500 divided by 1. You would know.
Or 5 divided by 1, you get the same number. If you have the same number of zeros and it's the same number of digits, 5 divided by 1 is simple. It's not rocket science.
It's simple, but this is not STEM level arithmetic. This is elementary stuff, and it's amazing people don't get it.
Correct.
But it was funny though. And last thing before I go, I know I'm eating up time, but about Donna Brazile, did you acknowledge that this is the woman that gave Hillary Clinton questions ahead of the debates in the last election cycle?
Yeah, that was her. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. She. It's funny how she likes to talk about maintaining democracy, and then she was exposed for doing that, and then lied about it on air, and then later retracted her statement saying that was a mistake. This is the woman who's telling us all to shut up and stop commenting about their elections.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Donna Brazile, she has some nerve to be talking about all that stuff. She should just be, it's like, we know your past, know what you did in the past. You really shouldn't be talking about stuff like this. Just, move on to the next topic.
Yeah. And it's interesting. She likes to complain about foreign interference. She wants to stop that. But we just had Bernie Sanders, the press talking about foreign interference with him. I don't know if she has a problem with that. That could obviously bring in some conflict of interest.
Right.
So, all right. Well, I'm going to head out. I'm going to stay in chat. And I'll talk to you later, ABL. See you later, chat.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Peace.
All right. Thanks to my man Jordan for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Let me get to my next call here. Nippin, what's going on with you, boss? Now you're right here, man. What's going on?
Not much. Let me just take out my there's one. There's the other. Yeah, those are my other earphones listening to my phone.
I got you.
Waiting. So yeah, how comes you didn't get me on last time round?
Lines are busy, man.
Wow, yeah. So yeah, I was listening to your video on the case in Alabama back in 2004.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't guilty because he didn't do. And I'm sorry. Yes, he was guilty. If he was involved, he was guilty.
That's right. I mean, that's just the law. If you're there, if you're involved with the crime, you get the same sentence, the same punishment as those that actually pulled the trigger. Just because he wasn't the trigger man does not mean he had no involvement.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's just like me saying, "Oh, don't arrest me. I only paid the assassin. I didn't do anything else." Yes, you paid the assassin. That's
right.
As bad as pulling the trigger itself.
That's right. Exactly. People don't really understand that. You know, that's why Charles Manson got locked up, because he was not actually he didn't kill anybody. He never pulled a trigger or hurt anybody himself, but his disciples did. His rhetoric is what caused it. That's why he got locked up, not because he actually killed anybody. People don't understand that. It's a lot of ignorance towards the law, but from this case, hopefully they learn.
Hope so too. So yeah, the coronavirus panic is getting out of hand.
I mean, it's spreading, but it's not like this really big thing. It's not like the Black Plague or not even like H1N1 or the swine flu. It's not like that. But, you know, people are kind of making it, I think the media are making it worse than what it actually is.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say as well. But because now people are just raiding shops, buying literally everything.
That's right.
Because there's literally nothing left in the shops because of all this panic.
So is the panic over there in Europe as well?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, in England alone, so many people are basically buying stuff as if there's no tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
And Chuck Schumer going all psycho. I mean, how dare you? How dare you threaten the Supreme Court?
Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that at all. That's not really what we're trying to do. Let them do their job. Let them handle things how they're going to handle it. Don't be trying to threaten them, talking about the whirlwind's going to be on you. And then he tried to, quote unquote, apologize. It was a halfway apology. He was saying, "Oh, you know, I'm from Brooklyn. We talk this way." It's like, sir, I'm not trying to hear that. Just speak properly. Don't threaten people. How about that?
Exactly. This is apology. Tasty. That's his apology. Right there.
Pretty much.
Because no, either you don't say. Look, my mum told me something when I was young. If you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all.
It makes sense to me. That, you know, that's a good philosophy to live by.
So yeah, apparently now math is racist. Well, we put an S in England. But yeah, so yeah, mathematics is racist.
Math is racist. Math is not important. It doesn't really matter. It's just really weird.
Yeah, so apparently if the left don't agree with anything, it's racist. Soon this thing here, cinnamon toast, soon that will be considered racist too.
That's right. That's right.
Or like, I think they've already said milk is racist. I don't remember if that's the case.
Yeah, like I think it was something where some guys were drinking milk and they called themselves white nationalists. So then people were trying to say that milk is racist. Then they said, I forgot what it was. The OK sign.
Right
Yeah.
Right now?
Yeah. The OK sign. The OK sign is racist as well. A thing that's been around for a very long time, used by a lot of different people. All of a sudden, that's racist now.
So, yeah, Pocahontas has officially dropped out of the race.
Yeah, she's out. She's done. And I think Tulsi Gabbard is still hanging on for some reason. She should be next to drop out because Pocahontas was doing better than her. So I'm not really sure why Tulsi's still in there.
So who do you think will get the landslide then? As in, like, who will be the victim of the landslide? Not who will, because we all know there's only one winner.
Well, the victim here would be Bernie Sanders because he has no path forward. Like, he can make it kind of interesting, but I don't think he has a chance of being able to succeed in the primary. He even said that if Joe Biden gets the most votes, that he'll drop out. Even if he doesn't get the necessary threshold to secure the nomination, he'll drop out if he gets the most votes, if he gets the most delegates.
Yeah. So apparently the Nevada caucus has done, and I believe Bernie Sanders won that.
I think he did win. Like there's been a few that he won. He's not that far behind right now as far as delegate count is concerned, but I think that he understands he's not really going to be able to get a whole lot more delegates as time persists. And I think that Joe Biden will probably eke it out in the end. I think he knows that as well.
So there was this thing. Now, Bill Clinton says his Lewinsky love affair was caused by anxiety. What? Anxiety? Are you on drugs, Bill? Are you sure you're not taking drugs?
Yeah, he had that anxiety.
What was happening? You knew what was happening. You were okay with this whole thing.
Hey, he said he had to do it because he had a lot of pressure on his back and he's trying to run the country and he had to manage his anxieties and that was pretty much his excuse.
That's such a poor excuse. That is such a poor excuse.
Yeah.
So yeah, now Donna Brazil, she had a meltdown.
Well, yeah, she did.
What of it? Oh yeah, over an anti-Bernie Sanders movement allegation.
Right.
So what exactly happened?
She basically, to make a long story short, what she basically did was Ronald McDaniel had said something about the establishment backing Joe Biden and that they're trying to basically kick Bernie out. And Donna Brazil didn't like that too much. She was saying that Ronald McDaniel should stay over in her party and handle her business. And it was a mess. You got to see the video to get more of it.
You know what? She can just not raise the blood pressure.
Right.
So yeah, these Democrats have done so much damage to themselves. Now they can lie in the mess they created.
They got to lie in it, man. But hey, I got a lot more calls on the line, so I got to get to a few more.
It was nice catching up with you, ABL.
Oh, definitely,
Nippy. Oh yeah, it will now. I'm officially off for. I'm officially back on Thursdays now.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I shall call in next Thursday.
Yeah,
Thursday your time.
Wednesday my time. Gotcha.
Sorry, Wednesday your time, Thursday my time.
I got you.
I shall speak to you then.
All right, then. Talk to you then.
Peace.
Peace. All righty. Let's get to a few more calls. You guys on the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. All right, let's go. 780, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, Anthony.
Hello.
Liza Jean calling from Crazy Canada.
All righty, what's going on?
One quick question.
Okay.
Why do American elections take so long? We have 3 months. Why does it seem like it's, I'm trying not to swear, 2 effing years? Why?
Well, really, it takes longer than that because these people are always trying to run. They're always setting themselves up for the run. People like Kamala Harris, Cory Booker, even when they weren't running, they were still trying to get themselves out there, get some attention, and still trying to be in D.C., showing themselves off. So I don't know. It's a big prize. You're talking about United States, powerful country. I think that's really what it is. And then if somebody's starting to do their campaign 2 years out, if you come in 6 months out, you're late. You're behind the 8 ball, and you got to make up momentum that you lost, that somebody else was able to gain because they came in earlier.
Yeah, but doesn't that take away from the person who is, in power? Like, have you ever thought to look across, the entire world and see how long other countries' elections run? I think the U.S. to me, is just really, really bizarre. I don't get it because it's just all about taking away from getting on with business.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right about that, and but that's just kind of how it is.
Well, it's very distracting. It's like, and like honestly, I don't know what to think about Trump. We're in incredibly interesting times. In my opinion, this whole fear porn sells, fear sells. And we're all I see so many people I don't want to listen to someone who just wants to follow the water cooler topics that are given to us by the mainstream media. Anyway, I love what you're doing. I've met so many people through your platform. We just all need to understand that, the past really doesn't exist and the future doesn't, and we just need to pull together in the present. And thank you so much for what you do.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay. You got it. Bye.
All right. Great call from Elijah Jean. Thank you for that. We got about a half hour left. We got a few more calls on the line. You guys on the drill. The number to call, 434-658-1220. All right. Let me see. All righty. Let's get to, 240. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
This your boy JB. What's up, brother?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, man. Did you hear about the Philadelphia, how they're doing California, having safe zones to shoot up drugs at? You heard about that?
Yeah, I did.
Isn't that crazy? And it just turned to California. DC's next. You know that, right?
Really?
I think so. Because they're putting all these different legislations where it's getting like New York, certain crimes are not going to be so, how can I say, they're not going to be so frowned upon as much, like little petty stealing out of stores and everything. So, yeah, it's getting real ugly in D.C. I think it's like real ugly in D.C. like it is getting in California and New York. They better stop.
You know what? When I was in D.C. last time, I was seeing some things out there like they've been, so I could see how those people that I saw out there could be going to like one of these little safe zones and stuff like that. But the problem out in D.C. is not anywhere near as bad as like San Francisco or Seattle, Washington, places like that. It's out of control.
Yeah. It's not. I don't know. It's too much money coming through here, and they don't want to mess the money up. That's the thing about D.C. Don't you think so?
And the politicians and then people coming from other countries, if you're coming from a different country, you're on a diplomatic mission, you can't be seeing junkies on the street sprawled out. That's not attractive.
Yeah, exactly. And then also, did you also hear about and that broke my heart. I seen them girls, that girl getting jumped like that, and these people just standing around letting it happen. That just things are getting so like it's getting bad. Don't you think so? When little girls can't walk. If I was her dad, I'd have been to kill somebody, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it would have been a problem, a serious problem. I mean, that right there, I never thought I would see the day when something like that would happen. A girl getting stomped on. I've seen when I was a kid, you might get a fight between 2 or 3 boys. One boy get jumped. Might be 2 or 3 boys jumping them, but 18 boys on a girl, that's just
exactly. That's just sickening, right? That's how you know times have changed, because there's no way in hell that would happen when we was coming up. You know what I'm saying, ABL? It just never happened. If anything, we were protecting the little girl. You know what I'm saying? That's if anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's getting crazy out here. And then also, you heard about some of how they said that they're trying to say that some of the things are rigged for the upcoming election. They said a lot of things are being rigged.
Like, what do you mean?
Like a lot of polling stuff might be getting rigged and everything.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, especially when you got, where it's like no voter ID and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm-hmm. And then they got this stupid thing talking about, well, this is we call whatchamacallit? They're talking about voter suppression when they say you need to have ID. Well, that's basic for everything in life. You need ID. You just need an ID for everything.
Yeah, you can't really just exist in the world without an ID. You got to have identification. You got to show who you are. I mean, how are you even able to live? How are you able to eat? How are you able to do anything with no ID? It's just not even a possible thing. Get on a plane, train, automobile, you got to have it.
Exactly. And the thing we was thinking is if these people are actually saying that's racist, you have to have an ID. And you know what? It makes black people look stupid when you say we're too incompetent to carry IDs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the thing was, man, black people don't even get it that it hurts us when they do stuff like this. It makes us look stupid. And then they get a black woman to do this to make us look even worse. Would you not agree, ABL?
Well, yeah, it's an issue.
Well, all right, ABL. One before I go, ABL, did you get the division download?
No, I did. I heard it was kind of it was a messed up start. Like they had some problems, had some bugs in it. So I'm like, all right, let me just hold off on that one.
I got it. It's pretty good. I didn't think I was gonna like it as much, but it's pretty good.
Okay.
I played the first mission, and the thing about it is, it's crazy, man. Like they say, you only get to level 40, and you can't. It's like infinite. It's always constantly going. So the game's never gonna go out of style.
Okay.
So I think what they're gonna do is rather release another division, they'll just sell you different maps to it, which makes perfect sense when you think about it. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Because you're actually gonna run out of places to go. Don't you think so?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah. Right, ABL. Have a nice one, brother, man. Pleasure talking to you, man. And you tell Luke to stop running from you.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, peace.
Peace. All right. Thank you all for being here. Most certainly appreciate you guys. And thank you to the super chatters. I'm going to read some of those right quick, and then I'm going to get back to the calls. Let me see if I can go ahead and get that refreshed, get them in here. All right. And you guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Matter of fact, let me get to my next call, actually. 804, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
All right.
All righty. What's going on?
Hey, how you doing, ABL?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Oh, well, I'm calling in from Virginia.
All righty.
Gosh, where do I start?
Start from the top.
All right. Well, let's see. Guess I want to get your thoughts on a couple of things. I guess I'll name them first and then let you respond. So, why in the world is the Department of Justice rejecting, going after and investigating these corrupt politicians? Why are they protecting these people? Are these Obama holdovers or something? That would be a question.
Yeah, probably so, because the thing about it, I think you have like 2 million federal employees, people that's going to be there. Like, you're talking about career people that they're going to be there regardless. The politicians, they can come and go sometimes, not everybody, but some of them can come and go. But the government employees, people that you don't see behind the scenes, they're going to be there. So a lot of these people, they're just not going to get some of this stuff done. People like Hillary Clinton and others, they got too much power, too much influence in D.C. still to actually have anything happen to them. It's a messed up system, but that's just kind of where we're at nowadays.
And I wish Trump would spray the bleach and pull the plug. Come on now.
I hear you. I'm with you.
Oh, let's see. So yeah, that was on my mind. The other thing too, I don't know if you keep up with anything going on in Virginia, but you ought to look at some of the video of the legislative sessions going on. And Amanda Chase, man, she is she's all right, man. I'm telling you. She called them all treasonous traitors, and they're not fit for office, and they're not because they violated their oath to the Constitution and to the Virginia Constitution. It's all this crazy gun control that they're throwing through, and all this other stuff about trying to change the rules to hold on to power, and I thought infanticide was illegal, yet our governor on the radio, said, hey, we'll have a conversation, blah, blah, blah. And while we decided to kill a child, and I don't understand how, infanticide can be acceptable coming out of these politicians' mouths and all this legislation. I just don't. It's like what? It's upside down, man. It's like what are y'all doing? It's crazy. It's like they're gonna have to give an account for that. They're gonna have blood on their hands, big time. And I'm scared for this stuff, man. It's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a whole lot going on in Virginia. And when I was there, I kind of saw it coming. When I saw Ralph Northam come into office, I was like, okay, this is going to be an issue. I knew that it would be some things like this going on, unfortunately. But the whole infanticide thing, I'm with you, man. I thought that it was illegal to kill babies. I thought that was not a thing you could do. But they're talking about having a live-born baby and then figuring out what are you going to do with it. I mean, it's really crazy, but that's where we're at. That's where a lot of these abortionist type people, that's where they want to go. They didn't want to just stop at an abortion, which is bad enough. Then they want to talk about after the baby is born. So then at that point, they realize, or they're admitting that a baby in the womb is a baby. It's an actual baby, regardless of where it is. But yeah, it's crazy. Hopefully, a lot of these things kind of get reversed and we don't go down this deep, dark road any further.
Yeah, I'm hoping the same thing, man. I really am. It just breaks my heart about all that. It really does. Yeah, last thing, man, is this whole thing with this whole position we find ourselves in with China. I mean, most of the, you look at when you hear about it. Tucker Carlson was talking about it. A huge percentage of the antibiotics and the things that we as a country depend on are manufactured and come from China. All the electronics, all the, a lot of supplies, all this stuff. I mean, steel. I mean, come on. We have got to get independent, man. We have got to be independent. We got to start making our own stuff for ourselves. Because the Chinese government could very easily say, all right, we're tired of this. You're not getting anything. And then we're going to be in serious trouble, especially in the face of a pandemic. Next pandemic that could come around, China will say, we're gonna cut this off, and that's it. We're gonna have a real problem on our hands. I really hope everybody listening, we as people, the American citizens, have got to be engaged with the politicians, with the leaders, and trying to force their hand to get stuff back, bring manufacturing back to this country. We've got to lower taxes. We've got to incentivize companies. We've got to do this stuff. Otherwise, we're going to be at the mercy of people who really aren't our friends. And that's really concerning.
Right. I'm with you. Absolutely.
So, appreciate you, man. Thanks for what you're doing, and keep getting the word out, man. And everybody listening, we have got to get active. Can't be sitting on the couch no more. I agree with the caller earlier from tonight. Easy life is over. Stop watching TV and being a couch potato. We have got to get out there and engage and start making our voices heard and fight back. Seriously. All right, man, I'm out. You have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. I appreciate him. And thank you to the super chatters. Did I get hold on, let me see. First name, last name. Thank you for your donation. Says government healthcare. It's the DMV or post office in charge of your medical care. Imagine if the government designs your smartphone. Exactly. If the government were in charge of smartphones, we will be having the old school phone with the backpack and everything else, because they don't do any kind of innovation. All they are going to do is produce what's already existing in a somewhat satisfactory way. They don't do any kind of innovation. But thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to ZR, who says, I agree with Jericho Green. Older blacks love Creepy Joe, but anyone under 60 isn't feeling them. Did you see the newest Mr. Robinson's Neighborhood sketch? It was not as good as the older ones. I've not seen that, but thank you for your donation. I definitely appreciate you. And he's right. The older blacks, they love Creepy Joe 1,000% because they associate him with Barack Obama. So it's going to be an issue when you're talking about the general election. There's going to be some division there. Who's going to want to vote? Like, are you going to be able to get the younger blacks on board? I think so. But in the primary, not so much. So it's still going to be Joe. It's not going to be enough for Bernie when it's all said and done. But thank you for your donation. Shout out to Underdog Anomaly, my man Jordan, who says, screw my math, ABL is 500 million divided by 1 million, not 5 million. All right, thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to Chief Rocco, who says, ABL, peace. A shift occurred around 20 years ago. Wrong is right and right is wrong. Keep pushing. Hey, thank you for that, man. I appreciate you. And I think you're correct. There is a shift happening, or a shift happened, and people just don't understand what the right thing to do is anymore. It's crazy. But let me get to my next call. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me go to, alrighty, let's try 470. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello. Hey, Anthony, how you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I am so good, Anthony. I finally got through to chance to talk to you, Anthony. Because you got some questions to answer me, Anthony.
All right. So what's going on?
Where's my P-Booty, Anthony? What did you do with him, Anthony? Why is he not running, Anthony?
Hey, he dropped out.
Where is my booty, Anthony?
His name is Booty Gig.
It's P-Booty, Anthony. Where is he, Anthony? Why is he not in the race, Anthony?
He dropped out. So that's not my fault. He decided he didn't want to go anymore because he could not win. So you got to talk to him about that.
Well, he got to keep going, Anthony. He need to drop it back in. But anywho, Anthony, I am just so upset, Anthony, when he dropped out the race. What is going on, Anthony?
Hey, you got to ask him. I think that people didn't want to vote for him. So if you can't win, go ahead and drop out and support Joe Biden. You going to vote for Joe Biden?
I don't know, Anthony. I'm just going to write P-Booty on my ballot, Anthony.
Well, go for it. I mean, he ain't going to win, but if you want to do that, make yourself feel better, then go for it.
I surely will, Anthony. And I heard you talking to Nippin on the line, Anthony.
Yeah, shouts Nippin.
Is he okay? Do he got coronavirus, Anthony?
I think he's good. I don't think he got coronavirus. I think he all right.
Because I know he like to be on them boats and everything, doing a lot of sailing and everything with his little pretty black hair looking like. But anyway, Anthony, is he going to be all right, Anthony?
He'll be just...
I'll bring him some Bud Light to get him off them coronas.
Is that how it spreads through Corona to beer?
Well, I don't know, Anthony. I just... Coronavirus and then Corona beer, I mean... It just sounds the same to me, Anthony.
Hey, man, you ain't by yourself because a lot of people think that coronavirus comes from the Corona, so they ain't gonna drink Corona no more. So you ain't the only one.
Well, that's fine with me. I'll just stick to Crown Royal and Heineken, Anthony.
That's great. That's fantastic.
But Anthony, you know they got this new pink hypnotic, Anthony.
I don't know why you're telling me.
You ain't gonna try, Anthony?
I think not, sir.
Excuse me, Anthony. It's ma'am, boo.
I'm good. I'm good.
What's wrong with you, Anthony?
I'll pass.
And whatever, Anthony. And I heard that other lady, she dropped out the race too, Anthony.
Oh, who you talking about?
That crazy lady from, where's she from? Mississippi? No, she's from Massachusetts, Anthony. You know the one that be acting like that like Beto, Anthony, be swinging her arms and then like she be on something, some of that good stuff, Anthony.
You talking about Pocahontas?
I don't know if that's her name. It might be. It might be Little Chief Lion Bull or something. I don't know.
What you say? You say, look, Chief Lion Bull?
Little Chief Lion Bull, Anthony.
Yeah, that might be right, too.
Us women, we are taking over.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So is she going to be our vice president, Anthony?
I don't know. She might be, but I don't think she like Joe or Bernie too much. So I don't know. But anything is possible. I don't think nothing going to surprise me anymore. So we'll see come probably in the next 2 or 3 months. We'll see what's going to happen.
Because I don't think neither one of them two men, I don't think they're going to last too long, Anthony. That man, Joe, he got all old timers. Ain't that the name of that disease, Anthony?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. What it looked like to me, too.
And that other man, he looked like that man from that movie Back to the Future that I used to watch when I was little, Anthony. That crazy, nutty professor man.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. The guy with the wild hair all over the place, yeah.
Yeah, that's where Anthony, he need to go back in time and get his hair right, Anthony. There's something wrong with him, Anthony. He talking about he going to take all my money and put it into somebody else's health care and all this type of stuff, Anthony. I don't know what's wrong with him, Anthony. I ain't got no money anywho.
Nah, I understand.
Take my welfare check and give it to somebody else, Anthony.
Nah, he can't do that. That's not going to be right.
Nah, I ain't going to have no restoration and no welfare, Anthony. What I'm got to do, I'm going to go get a job, Anthony.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Go get a job like everybody else.
Excuse me, Anthony. I don't want to make my nails, Anthony.
Hey, I can't do nothing about that. You got to do something though.
Whatever, Anthony.
All right, well look, you can be on the phone all night because I got some more calls on the line.
What? Excuse me, Anthony. You trying to rush me off the phone? I just want to ask you one more question, Anthony.
All right, go for it. But time's wasting, so spit it out.
Well, I forgot, Anthony. So I had to call you back the next show, Anthony.
All right, well,
you got to rush me off the line, but anywho, Anthony, I'm finna go because I want you to understand one thing, Anthony.
What's that?
Because I saw his name pop up on the screen, Anthony. If you tell Kevin Corner, because I see his name, Anthony. I see Anthony. You tell Kevin. You tell him to bring that big burly bit and that nice shiny ball.
All right, look. I'm telling you, we got a family show. Family show. You can't be doing nothing crazy. I need you to relax.
I'm trying to start a family, Anthony. But anywho, you just tell him to come on over, hit that mountain. Okay, Anthony. I'm gonna go, Anthony, because I got to go out here and help make it out the gate again. Okay, Anthony?
Thank you for the call. I appreciate it.
Okay, Anthony. Bye, Anthony, Brian, and Logan.
No, we're not going to do all that. Thank you for the call. I think it's Kevin, but I don't know if it's Kevin or not. That's a consistent troll that always calls in acting crazy. But I'm glad whoever that is could take jokes when I call them, Zim, whatever, sir, and stuff like that. Okay. we gotta move on, get to some more calls. Let's go to, let's see, 956 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Bill. Thanks for taking my call. I'll keep this quick because I know you're running out of time, friend. Two things real quick. I was listening to Rush Limbaugh, and I believe that he was talking about President Trump going to San Francisco and pointing out the failures of the Democrats and what a Democrat-ran city looks like. And I think that's a beautiful idea, because what a better way to point out failure than to go there and say, this is what you get with these people, and what you get with other places is significantly better. And I just wanted your thoughts on that, and then I'll bring one more thing I wanted to tell you real quick. You, Officer Tatum, Paul Joseph Watson, Jericho Green, you're all going to be the talkers of the future, the tellers of the truth, the voice of reason. And I hope y'all keep at that deal. Now I would like your thoughts on what I just suggested earlier. Go ahead.
Now, I kind of had missed some of it. You were talking about Trump going where now?
San Francisco, Nancy Pelosi's district.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you. So, yeah, he should go. Like, just display it, because my thing is, a lot of people, a lot of Americans don't quite understand what's going on. They may hear certain things, they may hear some third party information, but you got to go there and display what's going on, and then talk about, like you said, is this what we have here in San Francisco? You have filth, you have garbage, you have despair, but yet you have all this money. Like, what are we spending the money on? How is it actually helping anything? Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
If it were me, if I were Trump, I would have a huge monitor behind him, split screen, on one half showing the filth, the needles, the disgust, the homelessness, the diseases, and on the other side, the waste, the fraud, and the taxpayer money that they're just absolutely just wasting. That's what I would do personally, and I'd have it outside too for the other people that can't get in to see it as well.
That's right, absolutely, 100%. That's a great idea.
Thanks for your time, brother. Take care.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Yep.
All right. Shout out to the caller. All right. I got time for maybe like one more call. Let me get to it. 712, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL.
All righty. What's going on?
All right. Hey, this is Alan. Hey, Alan from Iowa. Well, something that you had on was disturbing was that group of 30 guys or whatever beating up that gal, and this was in New York City. And then you had another one was you had people that were going into stores in San Francisco basically just picking up less than $700 or $1,000, whatever it is, and just walking out of the stores. And then you have in L.A., which you're going to be heading for, the way I understood you,
yes,
was, and you got a whole bunch of homeless people just on the streets. This is what happens, and this is for the rest of the country needs to understand. This is what happens when you have liberals running the city government or the county government. This is what you're going to get. And you just had a caller just on said about Trump going to San Francisco. I think he needs to go to San Francisco, drop right over to L.A., and then just say, hey, look at this crap. This is what we're going to get if you have this. So let's start out with this. Number one, when you start letting little crimes go, what's going to happen? It keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So, like Giuliani did, because I know at one time New York was one of the worst cities in the United States that had a lot of murders and stuff like that. He basically had the police go out and basically patrol more, stop and frisk if they were suspicious or whatever. And that dropped it down dramatically. So, yeah, you're right. They got the police hands all tied up, which makes another point here. You know what? You need to maybe you guys in San Francisco, New York, and L.A. need to also start changing some rules that instead of letting your city government having all the damn control of the money that goes to the police, which the police are supposed to say, if I remember right, it's serve and protect. It's not stand by with my thumbs up my butt and let the crimes go on. Excuse my language. I guess so when you start having crime, you're going to get more and more and more crime. So, how do you feel about that?
No, you're right. You're 100% correct. Like little crimes start to build up. Little civil offenses, it starts with a small thing and then it goes to a big thing because people think they can just do whatever they want. They begin to do whatever they want. And that will not just stop at the small thing, it'll grow to a big thing. You got to have the precedent set early. If you don't set it, things will get out of control. And then by the time you try to actually fix some of the bigger things, it's very hard, if not impossible, because you do not nip it in the bud. Nip it in the bud to prevent the weeds from taking over everything around you.
Exactly. That's kind of what's happening like in Portland and stuff. You had Antifa running around, hitting people, basically. You had a journalist that got hit with a milkshake or some damn thing, or concrete thing. So, this is what it needs to be. You got to nip it in the butt. If you don't, then you know what? It's going to get worse. That's all I got to say. And so the people in San Francisco, New York, and L.A., you have to do that. You have to get these people out and find good people to run. So, and then we had something about Bernie. Bernie could win this thing if he really wanted to. He has to. In the next debate, I think there's another debate coming up. I don't know exactly when. He needs to basically really go in and attack Biden. That's how I feel. I mean, if he actually, Biden's going to be lost if he gets really super attacked. So that's how I feel about that. As far as MSNBC, you know what? You guys need to go back to school. In fact, don't go to a public failing school. Find yourself a charter school and go to the charter school. Okay? Because you ain't going to get no good education, I guess, out of the public school. So maybe you need to find a charter school so you learn how to add. That's all I got to say, ABL. Thanks for the night and for me getting this stuff off my chest.
And thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You bet. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller, but I have to go. And I thank y'all for joining. I most certainly appreciate you. I'll be back, of course, with a live show on Wednesday of next week. Saturday, I'll be traveling next week, but I'm going to try to do something like Friday maybe when I'm in LA. I'm filming something over there. I can't really say, I guess, but I'll probably be able to say something when it comes out. Not nothing. I'm not going to be a movie or nothing like that, but I will be in LA from Thursday through Saturday. So that's pretty much what it is. I'm not going downtown at all. I'm not going anywhere near there. I'll be over by the airport. I'm trying to just hang out in safe territory. I've never been to LA before, so I just kind of want to see what's going on. If the coronavirus gets too bad, I might not, but I think I'll be fine. You know, just washing my hands, not rub all on my face and stuff and touch my mouth. I think I'll be just fine over there. So that'll pretty much be a wrap for me. And shout out to my man, Say Hi, who says, always look forward to your show. Thanks, bro. I thank you for your donation and your very kind words. I most certainly appreciate you. And shout out to the moderators tonight for keeping them trolls in check. We got Liza Jean, we got Michelle A, we got Shreves, we got Bill from the Hills, we got Ansel, we got my man Killer Sushi, we got Zealand Zen. I see you in the chat, Zealand Zen. Everybody, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate you guys, Liza Jean, of course, and everybody else. So let me think. Is that everything I got? I think that's pretty much a wrap. Yeah, I'll be safe. You got 10 million people in LA County by itself, right? 10 million in LA County, but you only have 60 coronavirus cases, and I think maybe 1 or no deaths. I think I'll be fine. So I'm not really worried about it. But that'll be a wrap. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.